the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candid lips. And Generation X gaming show. Tune in where the thoughts flow. Rant and rave with words that glow. Weekly stories make them go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt Mclusky. What's going on, bro?
I can't conquer the darkness on my camera settings.
Okay. I think you look fine.
I look like I'm like in it's like a nighttime filter on the camera.
Just pretend you're on the new set of the Harry Potter, where it's just the color grading is really dark. That's fine. You look fine.
It's horrible.
Yeah, you're good. What's going on, chat? Generation X Gaming is a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. We're live here, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. We're also live right now on Twitch, and we're also live right now on Twitter. Hello, Internet. We are Generation X Gaming. We are here 8 p.m. Eastern every single week on Thursday nights. We just cover stories throughout the week, and we rant along the way. What's going on, chat? What's going on, Sarge? Yeah, anything exciting happen before we go into what we've been playing and stuff like that? Anything new, exciting? Another week. It's like time warp.
Well, I think I figured out that I'm on some kind of data list because
What kind of list? Like a
I've noticed
Columbia House like CD program type of thing.
I talked to a few other people and I asked them. I said, "Hey, is anybody else getting like buy out your lease commercials, like for your car, like buy out your lease?"
Okay.
I'm getting like I get 6 an hour for the last 3 months
to buy your car.
An hour to buy to advertise to buy out the lease of your car.
Okay.
Right. So if I'm leasing a car,
are you leasing a car?
I own my car. I'm
okay.
paying. I'm almost.
I was asking why. Yeah.
Well, but what I'm saying is the information must have leaked somewhere because I'm getting blitzed.
Did you happen to look? Are you in the market to looking for a car?
I am not looking. I don't even touched the button for car. Nothing. No looking at cars at all. Right. And I'm also getting, and I haven't typed in any clothing options. I'm also getting inundated with the new fashion statement of 2026, which is
that? What's the new fashion statement?
Cloaks. Did you know cloaks are coming back, bro? Or cloak, like a cloak, like a hooded cloak, or
like Harry Potter cloaks.
Yeah, like a cloak. Yeah, like an actual clothing item. I'm getting advertisements for cloaks.
That's a thing. People are just going around wearing like.
Do you think that's a fashion statement? Is anybody wearing cloaks?
Yeah, people when I go to Universal Studios and they're running around in Harry Potter world and they have cloaks on.
Yeah, like if you're a Halloween or you're gonna cosplay or something, but not like, hey, it's Monday, we have a sale on cloaks. Tune in and get yourself a great cloak.
Is JCPenney still open? Like if I go to JCPenney's, is there just a rack of cloaks like there,
bro?
Or is it just an online thing?
I really truly believe the internet is just broke at this point. It's broken.
Yeah, witches. Cloaks. I didn't know that. Chat, how many of you guys own a cloak? Anybody getting a cloak?
More to the point, is anybody else getting commercials for cloaks like I am?
I've noticed YouTube has switched on me in the last since I've been back from vacation. Right?
Bro, YouTube is like a bipolar girlfriend. Everything that was fine before is completely opposite now. It's completely the entire algorithm is just fucked. It's fucked.
I don't know what's happening to my algorithm, right? I know what I watch every day. I watch the gaming videos and stuff like that. You would think like Crimson Desert would pop up or something in my feed. No, I'm getting Leatherworks, like how to make like wallets and like belts, right? I'm getting 3D printing, how to own a 3D printing thing, and I haven't looked up anything, right? I haven't watched anything of these things, but the algorithm is showing me like you said, like traveling like around the world, like hiking and stuff. Now, hiking makes a little sense because I said hiking a couple weeks ago because I went hiking.
I will say this. I think it works both ways though, because I have told my phone to fuck off Disney so many times.
So now
I don't get any Disney shit anymore.
Oh, okay.
I get zero Disney
They're
advertising.
like, this guy doesn't like Disney. Let's not send him anything.
Bro, I'm being serious. Zero Disney advertisements. I get nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, I just don't understand the algorithm.
No
What's
parks,
happening.
no cruises, no island, nothing.
Don't get me wrong,
Nothing.
but a couple weeks ago, I think my channel was in that algorithm. And that's why in my morning show, we were getting like 500, 600, 700 people coming in to watch me.
Why? Because of what?
Because of whatever they switch, they're putting you up on the front page, or they're putting you trying smaller channels and putting them in places to see
if you get traction.
Just YouTube benefits if
or maybe there's just 6 guys in the office and they're betting.
Yeah, maybe.
They pick
Maybe.
10 small streamers. They put money in a pool and they go, "Who do you think's gonna get traction this week?"
Yeah,
They throw them out there.
Or it could be the hype thing. There's a hype thing that you guys, I've never seen it. I don't think I see it because I'm a brand account so I can't receive gifted memberships on my brand account. I can't gift. Like if I was a regular channel on YouTube, like right now I could give 10 gifted memberships a month for free by YouTube. But because I'm a brand account, I can't gift. And I can't switch it. I can't switch it back to a regular account. It'll have to delete my channel and then start again. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. So yeah, but so
isn't that a little harsh?
it is a little harsh.
You can't gift a membership.
Yeah.
What's the hype?
I've never seen the hype meter.
And what's the hype meter?
The hype is apparently you get 5 or 7 hypes a month. Is that what it is, chat? Where you have a hype and you click the button and you can hype it. I don't know if it's when it's live or after when it's
no. I think
podcast.
No, I think it's not live. It's not live because I've seen it once or twice when I was looking at other videos.
I don't know. I don't get it, so I don't know. All right. I'm trying to think if there's anything. Oh, did you watch the shuttle launch?
I watched the news watching the shuttle launch.
Yeah, we walk out the back door and we see go up in the air. It's pretty cool.
What I find interesting about the whole launch thing is that NASA's been doing this shit forever and they haven't got shit done. And as soon as spacecraft went privatized, we're just launching shit. We're doing 1950s rocket launches and coming back down. They're not fucking around, bro.
Did you watch the interview with the head of space? I forget the guy's name.
The head of space?
The head of space, the administrator of space.
It's a big job.
He said starting next January, every month they're launching rockets up every month to the moon. Okay.
And crashing them into it.
Basically, this is what he said. So they're sending up rockets to the moon. Okay. And they're dropping unmanned robots on the moon so they can start building a base. Okay. Every month they're built.
Okay.
He said,
down.
He goes,
slow down.
Hold on.
Slow down. Go ahead.
He said, when people think of a base, he's like, they think like a glass dome and stuff. He goes, no. He's like, it's going to be like a junkyard. He said, we're going to send things up there. They're going to build stuff. And if it breaks, you just move it to the side. And then we have the next thing.
Well, they're testing shit out.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
They're
testing it on the moon because before they go to Mars, that's what they're doing.
Everybody just slow down. Slow down. Okay. You're talking like it's a new game release. Okay. Relax.
I'm talking about how I just talked about it.
First of all, okay, robots aren't going to build shit because the union workers are going to get mad because it's not a union job.
I just see Exo Squad happening. Like 100 years from now, the robots are going to rebel.
Okay. Second of all,
attack from space.
Second of all, the robots are not building.
I think there's a DLC for Starfield.
Okay. They're testing to see if robots can build something. That I understand. What they're going to do, if you followed their plan from before, is it's a certain sized rocket. It's got a certain layout inside the rocket. They launch the rocket to the moon. They land the rocket on the moon, and then the rocket tips over and just lays on the moon like this, and then that becomes the building. There's levels inside the rocket, like that becomes the building. Instead of having to build a building, the rocket is the building.
I don't think they thought about that.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
That's not what he said. It's not what he said.
They're testing to see if robots can build shit, but the initial buildings are going to be the rocket itself just laying on its side, and you live inside there. That's what it's going to be.
We'll see.
We're not going to go from hey, look, somebody fired a rocket to the moon to Total Recall, living on Mars. Like, it's not going to happen like that.
This is what I think is going to happen.
Okay, for
the moon, you know, the big trash pile we have here in Florida, the big landfill. That's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Off the turnpike.
Right.
So
So
the moon's going to be. They're just going to throw trash up there. They're like, load the trash up on the thing. And
Yeah. So
shoot it up to the moon.
third thing is going to be the fact that whenever they do start sending people to Mars, I'll just talk to you like we're going to California or something, right? When they start sending people to Mars, okay, which won't be for a while, but when that happens, once you're there, you can't come back.
Yeah, it's 9 months to get there. Yeah.
No. You can't
lift
come
off.
back.
Yeah, you can't come back. Right. You can only send people that direction.
Let me finish. It's not because you can't come back because of the fuel situation. Is once you start living on Mars, you can't move back to Earth like you're moving back to a different state. Your entire
whole body
physiology
acclimates
changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you live on Mars now. That's it.
Yeah, you are a Martian.
Yeah, that's it. You can't come. You don't get to come back. We're not at the Star Trek level yet, bro. We don't get to go back and forth like you're moving shit with a U-Haul. That doesn't work that way.
Hey, you guys want to go to Mars? I can't. Can you imagine being in a small tube?
No.
With 4 other people?
No.
For any amount of time?
No.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
No.
Pretty cool though. Still pretty cool.
Yeah. No. Is it cool that did you watch the meme video?
No.
They interviewed some kid at the rocket launch.
Oh yeah, and he says we're going to the fucking moon.
Right. He basically just said, he's like, "Why are you so excited?" He's like,
"Yeah, we're going back.
We're going back to the fucking moon. What are you talking about?"
He had a GoPro on his head. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. It was on.
That's how. Okay.
Live.
Just for a moment though, that's how a small child should feel about rockets going to the moon. Right?
My son is.
You have
excited.
some uptight asshole who hates his life, his wife, and whoever else interviewing a child.
Yeah,
and he's talking to the child like he's like, so
moon.
why are you even watching this? Like, you're a kid. Why are you even watching this rocket thing? He puts the microphone in his face, and the kid just snapped, and he went, "We're going to the fucking moon!" Like that's how it should be.
Technically, we're not even going to the moon. We're circling the moon. It's a test. It's a test run for when they go to Mars.
Right, because we haven't tested going to around the moon before.
No.
Yeah.
They're testing. They haven't been up there in a long time. This is the farthest they're ever going out that they ever humans on a rocket, but they're testing the slingshot effect going around the moon so they can launch because they have to pick up speed. Apparently, don't quote me.
It saves fuel. Yeah.
Well, it saves fuel, and they have to pick up a speed of 24,000 miles an hour going around the moon, so it gets there in 9 months. Otherwise, if they just shot it there, it would take longer.
You're talking about Mars now.
Yeah, to get to Mars, 9 months.
Okay, it doesn't take 9 months to get to the moon, bro.
No, it takes 3 days to get to the moon. It takes 3 days to get to the moon. It takes another 2 days. Can they just slingshot around the Earth and shoot themselves over? I don't know. I don't think they can because of some sort of junk that's in the area that they can't. The debris. That's why they're going around the moon. They go out to the moon, slingshot around the moon, and then they launch. Right, and it has to be
because we've littered our atmosphere so badly that we can't launch shit.
And the reason you can't just say, "Oh, we're going to go around the moon," because it'd be stupid if the moon was on the opposite side of where Mars was, right? To go around so they have to wait to the certain part of when the moon's closest. So they then slingshot around the moon and then go to
Yeah, that's how.
Yeah,
that's how astrophysics works. Yes.
Do you think in our lifetime we see a person go to Mars?
No.
Okay. Not even when you're like 90.
Yeah, unless they're going to launch a monkey.
No, a human. I'm saying a human to Mars.
They're going to launch a monkey first.
That's fine. That's not the question. The question is, in your lifetime, do you see a human go to Mars?
No, you're not going to see a human go.
A human go to Mars.
You're not going to see a human go.
Chad, do you guys see in your lifetime?
Yeah, no.
I think we do. I think by when I'm 80
all the things they have to test out, that person might not come back. Like, all the things they have to test out, they're launching other shit first. Like, trust me.
I think they do it. A monkey is a human. I don't know about that, Douglas.
I could say so much, but I'm going to stay quiet.
I don't know about that. All right, let's get to what we've been playing. Roadkill takes 9 months. 9 months to get to Mars. That's one way. 9 months.
Yeah. That's without stopping to pee.
That's right. Hopefully the toilet works. Like that's the story. The toilet broke on the Artemis.
That is a Big Bang Theory.
It is, and it happened in real life.
Not,
It happened in real life. It happened on the actual thing.
a software error, so they couldn't use the toilet. Are you being serious?
Yeah, being
A
dead
software error.
serious. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, what you been playing?
My emotions. That's what I've been playing with.
How you doing
my
with the emotions? You good? You winning?
My emotions. No, I'm not winning. Not at all. What am I playing? What did I play this week? I'm still playing Dome Keeper.
Really? Still playing that, huh?
Yeah. I find the challenges to be fun. I think it reminds me of Dig Dug from back in the day. It kind of reminds me of Dig Dug. It just
Okay. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I understand why.
It's still RTSs. I'm still in the RTS land. I have not decided to buy Crimson Desert yet because I know I'm not going to have the time.
It's the time. I 100% understand.
What else did I play? I played Baldur's Gate 2 because I finished Baldur's Gate 1 with the same people. I transferred the characters over, so I'm playing Baldur's Gate 2.
I see you playing Fallout. You're playing Fallout a lot.
I am playing Fallout.
Which one? 3? You're playing 3, right?
4.
4.
Yeah, I'm playing 4. I'm trying to I'm trying to convince myself that the update didn't do anything, but it did. Like I'm noticing things in the game that I didn't notice before. I think there's some kind of graphical enhancement, even though I didn't get the update.
I think it did. We've talked about this like a month and a half ago.
I know, but most of the conversation was attached to the fact that if you downloaded the actual update, that fucked over your system. And I never downloaded that, and I'm still seeing graphical enhancements. So I don't know if
maybe it's a placebo effect. Maybe you think you got it.
I mean, no, because it's things that are little, but they stick out a lot. Like, for instance, there are certain areas on the map where the power line's sparking, but there's no fucking power. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a power line sparks because
this game engine.
But a power line sparks when it's live and it touches something and sparks.
That's how electricity works.
Okay, well, I'm looking at a 200-year-old pole that's not connected to anything. Right, and there's a dangling wire, and sparks are shooting off of it, like for graphic wise. And
That's bad game design.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Breaking.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they're adding shit. They added shit to the game to make it look better, but it doesn't make no fucking sense, right? The other thing I think was,
meanwhile, Rockstar has power lines, and they all go back to the power plant. every single power pole.
It's just strange. It's just strange. The water looks different. The water's different. I played a lot of the same cycled games, but RTS is pretty much the main style this week.
Dolphin says,
yeah,
here in Wisconsin. Hopefully I don't die. You won't die. You're fine. You'll be fine.
Like he's getting a milk delivery, like tornadoes, like right now. Like go into a fucking shelter, Magic. What are you talking about? Got a tornado here. I'm gonna just stay on and talk with you guys and see if I die. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he cracked a beer. He's just drinking, ready to go. He's not gonna put his beer down.
Yeah, but it's not like it's a rainstorm, dude. If a tornado's coming, you gotta get the fuck out.
Yeah, GXG's on. He's loyal. I appreciate you, Magic. I appreciate you. Sarge doesn't understand the loyalty here, right? We're moral support. He's fine. He's fine. As long as you're watching GXG, the tornado won't harm you. There you go. Just say fuck off. You're good. What else you playing, Sarge?
A lot of little games. And the RTSs. I'm still in the RTS mode.
We played Star Wars again. We haven't played Star Wars. I looked it up yesterday. Since December 17th was the last time we played. So we haven't played it this year. That was the first time we played.
The holiday special. Yeah.
Yeah. So good. Every time we play it.
It's 8 years old. That's how good it looks. It's
almost 9. Almost 9 years old. Yeah.
The game is 9 years old, and it looks that good 9 years ago. So what's going on, bro? What's going on today? What's going on today? No what? Nobody else make a game that looks good. No,
there are.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Hero says, I'm tempted to play Mass Effect Trilogy. Never played the Mass Effect before.
God, say that in chat, Hero. Oh, bro, now you're gonna start it.
What?
Now he's gonna start it.
What do you mean you never played it? What are you doing with your life?
I'll take a little break while chat goes.
What are you doing with your life?
While chat goes ape shit on him,
you've got to play Mass Effect.
I'll take a little break.
Mass Effect 2 specifically. You've got to play. Mass Effect's a great. You've got to play Mass Effect. Mass Effect's a fantastic game. It's one of the best. Yeah, Travis plays Mass Effect every day. He's done like 56 playthroughs. All right. Anything else, Sarge?
Are we back? Are we?
Yeah.
We're done. We're done with the Mass Effect thing because
that's
never going to stop.
Mass Effect. Yeah.
If you can tolerate,
we'll let chat deal with him.
The problem is that the first one is dated. Okay, if you grew up during that time period, you won't feel that it's so dated, but it's going to be dated to you. If you're playing Crimson Desert,
this is evil. Don't listen to Altern. All right, this is evil. Do not start
if you
with Andromeda.
If you play Crimson Desert and you play all these other games the last few years, and then you try to go back to play Mass Effect 1, your brain probably won't allow you. But if you played it before, right? This is what I say. If they do a remaster of Mass Effect just to make it look better, I think they'll get a group of people that'll like the game again. But I don't think a lot of people can go back to it.
I'll tell you what, Hero. Just play Mass Effect 2. Just skip 1. Start a brand new character on 2.
I guess you could do that.
You won't regret it. You'll skip the first one. The game mechanics are not the best in the first one. Number 2 is like the chef's kiss. Number 2 is one of the best games ever. Just start with 2.
I mean, look,
and
if you're trying to,
don't even go to 3.
Here we go. So the nuance. The nuance, Hero, is that it was a game that was designed because they knew they were going to make 3 games. The game is designed that you start with a character, you play through, you roll the dice because the decisions actually mattered in that game. You roll the dice, you play the game. At the end of the game, whatever happens to your character, whatever happens to the guys of the character, when you go to the next game, you carry over your character to the next game.
That's the coolest part about Mass Effect.
That was the hook.
1 go to 2, your choices in 2 go to 3.
Yeah. That was the hook.
Good stuff.
Because your character goes through all 3 games, which is kind of it is cool. It is cool.
I played a couple games this weekend. I played Vampire Survivor with my son and my nephew. That was pretty fun because
you can play 3 people.
Yeah, you can play 4 people. You can play 4 people co-op.
I didn't know you could play 4 people.
They did an update. They did an update a couple months ago. No, they did an update a couple months ago. You can play online like 3-4 people.
So how does that work? When someone picks
up Sarge, I don't know if you
know
this,
no, that's not
like
what
the poll
I mean.
in Fallout 76. There's just power just given out there, and it just goes out there, and that's how.
What I mean is when you pick up a treasure chest, does only my screen stop, or does
it rotates? So what happens is it stops, and then it goes around. So like if I'm player 1, I get the first dibs. You're player 2. Dark Taco's player 3.
That's a lot of stopping.
Yeah, but they added they added a 4th slot at the bottom. Like when you get your thing, sometimes it rolls and you'll have a 4th one. It says upgrade everyone at once. So obviously, unless you're an asshole, you're going to pick that one.
No, it depends on what I'm trying to pair up.
It automatic randomly, but yeah, you pick it because at the end you're gonna max out anyway. So yeah, it's good. So I was playing that, and my nephew was like. He's like, oh my God, look at all the guys, right? And he doesn't really play that many games, right? And we're on like, I don't know, 4 minutes in. So it's like a lot of guys.
The first wave of guys.
Yeah, I go, bro. You have no idea, right? So he was playing, I forget the character, but he's got the knives, the barbarian type character.
Yeah.
So his character, he had the garlic. So he had the garlic, and then the garlic got bigger and bigger and bigger, and they had the black hole around him, and he's running around, and he's just, oh my God, this is awesome. He's like screaming, and my son's screaming, and they're leveling up, and we're just sitting in the middle of him, and there's just tons of people. We beat the board. It was
there's hilarious. 3 of you. You should.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, you failed quite a bit. But
how do you fail with 3 people?
Your rolls. You just don't get the right things. So anyway, we played that.
How badly can you fuck up the rolls? Every gun gets ridiculous.
They're they're 10 and 11. I mean, their
You
brain.
can save them all. You can.
No, I don't do that.
Oh, I see. You don't do that.
Yeah, we let them sink or swim. You gotta learn. You gotta learn, right? They'll pick the one that's for them, and I'm like, you need to pick. And I'm like, never mind. Go ahead. And they'll pick it, and they're like, what is it? It's like, yep, that's what it is. We eat it. And then when a chest comes up or something, I'm like, you gotta move over. You gotta go over there. And they're like, they don't listen. It's all right. It is what it is. But fun time. So we played that. Did I mention Fortnite to you last week? I don't know if I played this weekend or last weekend, where my wife, myself, and my son played.
Played
and my
what?
wife, Fortnite.
Oh, Fortnite.
We protect her. She's like the president, and we're her bodyguard. She shoots nothing, gets nothing. She's just there. So we're in trios.
Oh God, it's like reality.
Yeah, it's exactly right. And I told the story to chat last week. My son's like, we have to protect mom. And that's all he does. Like one time she fell into the circle and she was like, got knocked down. So he ran out of the circle, picked her up, put her on his shoulders, and ran her back. She started crying. She was like, my son's saving me. I was like, oh my God. I was like, you're killing us. I was like, come on, stay alive, would you? So he's very good at protecting mom. Meanwhile, I'm going around protecting both of them with a sniper rifle from a distance, waiting to see if anyone comes around the corner calling out shots. So that's a fun time.
How can you call Expanse mid? The game isn't even out yet.
It's not even out yet. It comes out.
My God, you guys are so jaded.
Who said it's mid? Who said it was mid?
Krebsy. He's just so jaded. I think something rubbed off on him in the last couple months. He's just become jaded.
He's mad because people were making fun of Grand Theft Auto was coming out in 2027. He's a little upset.
Why? He's right. We already know he's correct. He almost got the month on the money.
No, he wants it in 2026. He's waiting for Grand Theft Auto.
No, I know that. But what I'm saying is he pretty much got it down.
He picked October of 2026.
Yeah,
it's November of 2026.
That's what I'm saying.
But people in April Fools were joking and saying it's moving to November of 2027.
No.
Yeah, that's a joke.
I mean, maybe.
Listen to So yeah, he's been here too long. We rubbed off on him just enough. That's basically it. We'll take the blame. What else have I been playing? I played
I'll tell you what, Justin. Let me know when you reach 50 years and you played 40 years of crap. You let me know how you feel.
I think Jones is up there. I think Jones, you're up in there. You're up in age. I don't know if you're 50, but
who's Jones?
Oh, I've been playing Crimson Desert
just
also. I know there's something else I'm trying to think of. I played something else, and I can't think of it. I played Star Wars. I played Vampire Survivor. I played Fortnite. Oh, Sea of Thieves. We played Sea of Thieves again.
Yeah, but I felt like I was doing a speed run. I got in. You go. We're going here, here, and here. I got on the boat. Warp 1, Warp 2, Warp 3. We're done. I'm going to lunch. See you later. That was it. I was like, what? What's going on?
It's efficient. We did 4 missions.
Okay.
It's an hour and a half.
Was it? I don't know. It was just over.
An hour and a half. I got to make lunch for the kid. What do you want? What do you want from me? We started at 1. We ended at 3. It was like almost 2 hours. We played some Sea of Thieves. I like going back to that game's having massive problems. There's like a whole everyone's making a video about Sea of Thieves and how it's bad and how they're going to fix it and what they need to do, and the economy is messed up because it's always just the coins to get the cosmetics, and people are like, we need more to do, and I'm like, holy Christ, like what's happening to the Sea of Thieves community? So they've completely turned upside down because they backtracked on the season. They put a PvP mode back in. Remember the PvP boat thing that was in the game like year 2? Well, now it's back in. There's a different PvP.
Yeah, but PvP was always in the game.
Yeah, no, but there's a dedicated PvP now. That's not in the regular world. It's just PvP.
All right, hang on a second. The game as it stands, if I buy it and install it, is a PvP game.
Yes.
The Safer Seas was the thing added on. So what do you mean by added on PvP?
So in year 2, they added a dedicated PvP server. It was six boats fighting it out.
The game is already PvP.
Separate. It was just these people were competing. It was like it was a separate thing, right? Then they got rid of it because it was separating the player base. Okay, they were separating the player base. Right? It's like Battle Royale kind of, yeah, right? So then they decided to go back into the regular thing where people were just fighting like normal again. But then they decided to do the dip underneath the water and come up if you want to the time thing up where the hourglass, and you flag up, right? You turn on the thing and say, I'm ready for PvP. Is that way anyone that wants to PvP can go up against someone else that's PvPing and whatnot. And it takes place within the world that you're in already, right? But it's a zone that you get teleported to, and then people fight there. Okay. That was in the game for the last like 2 years. Then they decided that now they're doing the six ship battle again, and it's the last boat standing. And I'm like, what's happening? I feel like it's the Kona Vision from Madden again. It's like they took it away, they brought it back.
Yeah, but once again, everything you just said is already in the game.
Yeah, but the people that are in the regular game don't want a PvP.
Which is PvP.
That's right.
Which is PvP.
They don't want a PvP.
Click save for C's. I feel like you're fucking with me right now, bro, because the game is PvP.
If you do safer seas, then you can't become pirate captain. Like I'm just telling you what's happening in the community of the thing. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just giving you what the information is.
Go to stories. Go to stories.
Well, I got to talk about Crimson Desert.
Oh God. Okay, go ahead.
I'm 100 hours into Crimson Desert,
which means you haven't slept.
My whole sleep schedule is fucked up. I've been going to sleep at like
no shit. Your sleep schedule is fucked up.
2 a.m. I've been waking.
It's only been a week. If you figure out how many hours are there in a week, and then figure out how many hours you played in Crimson Desert.
14 days. It's been 14 days. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I got 105 hours. 105 hours. I don't have a problem. You do, right? And then the game is awesome. I'm still in the first area. I'm still in the first area. I'll leave it this. I won't go and talk about Crimson Desert. I've been playing Crimson Desert, absolutely loving it, right? Right before I got onto the podcast with you, I just found my first legendary mount. I fought my first legendary. I fought a black wolf, just giant wolf out in the middle of any, and he has like 20, 30 other wolves around him, and they're all fighting you. So good. I was like, this is excellent.
You're fighting 30 wolves.
Yes. With one giant black wolf at the end, like while you're fighting the other wolves, the black wolf, so good, right? There's just these boss fights that happen. You're out in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden this big snow monster comes out of the ground, and you start fighting him. Just excellent. Everywhere you look, you're finding gear, you're finding treasure, you're doing puzzles, you're doing missions, you're leveling up your town, you're leveling up your gear. I'm not looking up anything, right? I'm not looking up anything. I'm not watching any videos to tell me what's going on. The only videos I'm watching about Crimson Desert is people going, they were wrong about Crimson Desert, and this is why. And that's it. I'm not watching any tips or things. So I just got to my second witch, okay? And then I just got to this. There's like 2 other systems that just popped up. I have these cuckoo pot that you can take the power sources and put them in this pot. Okay. You collect these sources and I don't know the names of them, but you collect these power of abysses, right? That you put into the cores. And then you take these cores, you go back to the dwarf at the smeltery. Okay. And when you click on him, he's got this whole fucking separate skill tree that I didn't even know about until about 7 hours ago. Okay. And that's where you can unlock like
what do you mean?
Parts.
You mean there's a whole other skill tree on top of the skill tree you already have for your character?
I don't even know what this is. Okay. Like I said, I'm not looking up anything. So
when I'm looking at your skill tree,
there's a skill tree
character. You don't go page over for this other skill tree. It's completely separate. It's not even connected.
No, you have to go to this location, talk to this specific guy. And when you talk to this specific guy, this other page opens up. Okay. And in this page, there's five circles. There's like a big giant circle in the middle, and there's 4 small circles around it. And then there's these lines that shoot out into like 4 or 5 different directions.
Is it like PoE skill tree?
Sort of. And then there's just question marks all around it, right? And I have one thing. I have a electric like poker is what I have, right? I don't know how to unlock any of this stuff. I don't know any recipes to unlock any of this stuff. Okay. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. And it's fan-fucking-tastic. I'm like 100 hours in. I just found this. And you find it in chapter 4. I'm in chapter 7. Okay. And I'm just going back, and I by accident, I never went to the guy and found this when I was in chapter 4, which is like 60 hours ago. So I found it at hour 100, and I have no idea what the hell it is. No idea. Then I found a second, no, not a witch. I found a fairy. Okay. And the fairy also has a skill tree or some sort of thing that you have to go through to unlock certain thing. I am so.
How are you guys not writing anything down? How are you guys not writing any of this shit down? Is there a log inside the game that tells you what you've done?
Yeah, there's a log that tells you like what you found and if you've found the thing in it. So like if you found the location, it checks a box for you. And
but how do you keep track? How do you keep track of what the hell you guys are even doing?
Yeah, the electric poker, Roadkill. It's a prod. It's like a stick with 2 prongs on the end.
But how do you even know what the hell you're doing with this much shit going on?
Everything's like it's in the game. Like so, if you find something on the map, it shows up on the map. So it does a highlight.
It'll say, "Hey, I'm doing something over here." There's like a little log of it.
If you go to the knowledge inside the skill tree, or not the skill tree, but in your menu system,
okay,
it does 2 dots. A dot that if you found it, and a dot if you got the gear that's there. So you know if you've been to a cave, if you got the stuff in the cave, yeah, you can track all the stuff.
Okay,
so much stuff, so much stuff, and then you're gonna love this, Sarge. Whenever you play it, like 5 years from now, you know when you like Space Marines, when a guy comes along and helps you, and you're like, oh, it's cool. The NPC it fights along with you, and you're like, this is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
this is
something that's been inside games for the last 15 years, but people forgot about. Yeah, that
there's 100 people on the screen. Okay, 100 people on the screen, and 2 battles. There's like 2. Actually, there's 3 factions. There's 2 separate armies happening, and you're in the middle of them, and they're fighting and killing each other, and they'll help you kill the other guys, and you can, it's amazing. Like you're bombarding them with like cannon fodder. You have to take these banners and stab them in the ground to rally the troops so they can push forward. It's amazing. There's so many different things in this game. I don't know if I'll ever finish like the actual game. Like I honestly don't. Like there's so many hidden. There's a wall that I found that you would never think that it was a secret passage. And while I was trying to find something,
you didn't know it was a secret passage?
Didn't know it was a secret passage. I'll just say this. It's at a sanctum. Honest to God, it's at a sanctum. I was searching for stuff. Okay. I climbed up a wall, and when I got to the top of the wall, all of a sudden I hear a click, and I'm like, what the hell's that? And I'm like looking around, and I didn't know what it was. And then I went around, and I went, what the hell is that? A wall opened up, like a platform dropped down. And then
from you doing what though? Like you don't even know what you did.
I had no idea what I did. There's a switch on top of the wall that I just happened to click when I was walking on top of the wall. That's how stuff happens. There's things in here with like Morse code. You have to do Morse code to open up something. There's you have to smash walls. You have to do this little wind thing or whatever. So many things, man. It's like ADD Haven. It's like you're like, oh, Eclipse said it the other day. He's like, oh, piece of candy. Oh, piece of candy. You're like, I need to go to that tower over there. You're like, I'm on my way to the tower. And you're like, oh, what's that, a cave? And you're like, oh, I'm going to go over the cave. And you're like, oh, over a cave? What? Is that a wolf? And you go over and kill the wolf. And you're like, oh, what's that over there? You don't even get to the point that you're going to, which was the tower. You completely forget that you're going to the tower because you're now did a mine. And then you did a camp.
It
and
sounds
then
like an
a
ADD
wild
problem.
horse.
It sounds like an ADD. It sounds like an ADD 100%. Problem.
It's all over the fucking place. But that's the Crimson Desert experience. I tell people all the time, if you want to enjoy a game, don't look anything up. Just play the game. Like if you don't have time for this game, don't get the game. And if you do have time, don't ruin it for yourself by looking up stuff. Just enjoy the game.
It's not that I'm not interested, Hero. You have to understand that
he doesn't have the time.
I have played many open world games. Many of them. I love them all. I just don't have the time. I just don't. I know
this is the Skyrim of this generation.
I mean, it seems to be.
And the only reason I say Skyrim is because Red Dead's been out, but that's not a fantasy game. That's a Western game, right? Like this is a fantasy game. So that's why I say Skyrim. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about it. I'm glad that there's another game that came out that's in the same realm as Skyrim that a company that should have made a game like Skyrim 10 years ago, but we're still playing this game with them, right? Listen, the best thing about Crimson Desert, and I mean this as a gamer, is they were able to push out and sell their ideas, even though it was broken at launch. They were able to put forth all the things that they wanted to put in the game to show what they could do with the game. And it worked out for them because all the things that are in that game are part of like other games that you guys have played. They just never been all together at the same time, all at once, right? And that basically sends a message now to anybody else who wants to make an open world game. You know who's on that list, okay? And now they have to step it up. You have to step it up because now a new bar has been set.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's this open world game, which is funny. We have a story about someone says that open world games are not a thing anymore, right? But we'll get to that. Anyway, let's get to the top stories, shall we? All right, so let's talk about, since we were just talking about Crimson Desert, let me find the story about Crimson Desert real fast, get these out of the way. Crimson Desert. We have Crimson Desert estimated to have made over 200 million already, and PlayStation 5 is a big contributor. In the article, it says the market analyst said that the Substack post, Pearl Abyss open world action adventure has made $200 million across the platforms, PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. So somewhat surprisingly, Ellis believes that 75 million of that was come from PlayStation 5 alone. Overall verdict is that the huge sales success proves that there's a massive appetite for high fidelity, high single player focused sandbox. Now, Crimson Desert has silenced skeptics and the stock market, who also feared rocky critical reception would hinder potential amongst the consumers in the long term, right? So it was in the low 70s. And now it's an 88. So it went from low 70s to an 88 turnaround.
Yeah, because the people who actually want to play that type of game are playing it and talking about it. That's
right. And then you could actually see from the first weekend to the second weekend, word of mouth spread and it went up and it hit the all-time peak on the second weekend, not the first weekend. And from that, I
don't know if it's a majority of people on PlayStation 5 is because of their sales. I just think that...
Well, it says 75% supposedly is from... 75 million of the 200 million is from PlayStation, is what it's saying.
Okay, but here's my problem with the words that people just say. You know the answer. They have the answer.
No,
they're not showing you. They're not showing you the proof of that.
No, this guy, the way he does his analysts and stuff, the way he finds that, that's why it's not 100%. He doesn't know the exact things.
He abstracts from other numbers.
It's based on like the reviews. It's based on the achievements. It's based on whatever else. So, so 75 million, but that's 75 million, not paying $75. Xbox, obviously the lowest one because it's the lowest number, but the highest amount of people are playing are on. I doubt it's like 75 million for Sony and like 65 million for PC and then Xbox. No. Well, majority's on PC.
I'll wait for the actual numbers to come out.
Yeah, we'll get it.
You'll say the answer to this question is you'll say that consoles helped out the sales of Crimson Desert. Fine, great.
Sure.
But to try to put PlayStation on a pedestal, it's because of PlayStation that Crimson Desert did so well, because that's the tone that you get from reading this.
Well, they also surpassed 4 million sales. I said last week they would get 5 million by this week. I was off. So it went from 3 million to 4 million on Tuesday. So maybe by this weekend they'll hit 5 million.
Hey, don't forget, school's almost out, bro.
I don't know
it's almost time for kids to be out of school.
Yeah, I don't know. This game is not going to be up for a lot of people. I don't see this being like a massive selling game. It'll probably sell 7 million.
No, not massive, but when you have a bunch of kids that are home from school, they don't go to school anymore.
Yeah,
game sales go up.
Well, Paul Tassi talks about why did critics like Crimson Desert less than the actual players. Now, he's a journalist and he absolutely loves it. He's addicted to this game. He can't stop playing it. He's like, every waking moment that I'm not playing this game, I have to play this game. He's like, I got to play other games because that's my job. But he goes, but I don't want to. I want to play this game.
But we really know that's not really his job. Come on, Paul.
Hey, so it is interesting to see that the biggest one is the Crimson Desert review from IGN. They gave it a 6 out of 10. Okay, and everyone's like, "What's
You really
going on with this?"
You have to bring up this guy already. Like I wanted to ease into the show before you brought this guy up.
I'm bringing up why critics liked it less than
Yeah, all right. Go ahead.
players.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you go to every single YouTube content creator that's playing the game, everyone says 9, 9.5. I can't stop playing. It's the only thing I want to play. It's so good. But the critics are like, it's monotonous. It's nothing to do. It's a mile wide and an inch deep, and they all say the exact same thing, and it makes no absolute sense. And I get it. I've said this before with other reviews. It's because they have a time, right? Just like you say, you don't have time to do it. Their job is they had 2 weeks to play the game, but then they have to move on to something else. So when they play the game, I'm 100 hours in, still in the first area. The guy put 130 hours in, and he beat the game. He's like, it's a 6 out of 10. Like, we're not playing the same game. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, this discussion we've had in the past, but I'll rehash it briefly. If you're going to write a review and it's just your opinion on the game, that's fine. That's your opinion on the game.
Sure.
But to actually review a game, to give it a score, you need to have standard metrics that you weigh the game on and then compare those metrics to other games of that nature. That's how you end up with a real number, not your opinion, right? Controls, mechanics, graphics, art style. Like you have to have actual things that you're testing while you're playing the game, and you score, and that's why you get a score. If I want to just get on the game, play it for 3 hours, and I don't like it, and I just tell everyone, go fuck yourself, it's a 6, well, then I guess it's a 6 because it's my opinion. But if we're going to review a game based on actual, I don't know, facts about why we like to play the game, then it means it means something different.
Yeah.
A review means something different. Your opinion on the game is different than a review on the game. I'll leave it at that. And the fact that the guy's even asking to redo it says he shouldn't be a reviewer at all.
Yeah, I don't think he should go back and change the score. I mean, stick by what you said. I said this earlier in my stream, but I do believe they need to do an update to just give where the patch notes are for people that are looking at reviews down the road, people that are in school that don't play, and they're like, oh, I wonder if this game's good. And they look it up and they see the 6 out of 10 on IGN. They're like, oh, I'm not going to get it, right? Type of thing. There should be something there that says, hey, since the game launched, here's the patches. You can go click on the link or whatever.
You can say,
to go see it.
You can say what as a journalist, you can say whatever you want as your opinion on the game, just
Sure.
like anybody else can. But when you call it a review, there needs to be a set of standards that you're scoring the game on. That's it. That way, if multiple people have it, the score numbers are not drastic, right? You don't go from a 4 to a 9, right? You might weigh something different than somebody else. I might weigh mechanics more than art style. Somebody else might weigh art style more than mechanics. But those numbers will average out over time, and we'll see the scores. But someone that just throws in buys the game, just says, this bullshit. 6 or 4.
This is why we've always agreed that the number system is stupid, right? This is why I like ACG when he does his reviews. Yeah, he just says it's a buy, it's a pass, it's a rent. But
ACG, if you listen to him multiple times when he talks about a game, right? He's giving you but he's going into detail about it. It does this just like this game. It does this poorer than this game. It does this. It does this. It does this well.
Right.
It doesn't do this well.
So if you like this, right?
That's correct. Yeah. That's the proper way to do a review.
That's correct.
And 100%. He reviews it without a number. He just reviews it and gives you buy weight,
rent, weight, right?
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah,
that's different.
That's why I like the way he does it. So, Larian Studios, very well known because of Baldur's Gate 3. One of the devs against Crimson Desert says Larian's publishing boss takes some spicy swipes at Crimson Desert, calling it a cynical amalgamation of borrowed mechanics, but I think he might be a cynical one this time. So what he's saying is that nothing in this game is new, right? Which I find funny coming from Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Right? Because literally it's from fucking D&D, like 5th edition, and there's been plenty of games ahead of it, right? MMOs wise, EverQuest, all this other shit that came out. So for him to say it's an amalgamation of other games and something like really too, new, does it really matter? You know what I mean? I'll take this as an example of the iPhone when it first came out, right? The iPhone didn't change the phone, right? It's still a phone. It just made it a smartphone and then changed the thing.
No, it did all the things that smartphones did, but it did it better.
Right, what a phone did. But then Google came out. They didn't reinvent the phone. They just made the iPhone, but they made it Google. It's the same exact thing, right? So to say that video games don't copy each other, every single video game copies another video game of some sort of mechanics and stuff.
That's how it get better.
Unless it's the system from WB, the
Nemesis system.
Nemesis system. Unless it's the Nemesis system, then you can't do it. Or if you're throwing Pokeballs at a thing, which is only.
And by the way, that patent got thrown out. Yeah.
So I do find it interesting that he said, the amalgamation of this game is it says Crimson Desert is fun to play, but it's such a cynical amalgamation of borrowed mechanics. He says in the original tweet, it's now that what I was calling plucked off a gas station shelf, for better or worse. Expect a lot more of this premium and free to play. There's less risk in it. Okay. In a follow-up tweet, he acknowledges that this is a very much par of the course when it comes to open world games, adding, at least it's adding spice to the stew rather than removing it.
Sure.
So,
but it does everything that the other open world games did, but put them all together.
Yeah, I mean, I've played a shit ton of open world games.
But all the mechanics you guys have played in Crimson Desert haven't all been in all open world games.
No,
some mechanics, some of those mechanics have been in other games.
Yeah, other games. Yeah,
but this game put all the mechanics from all the open world games all into one game.
I think that's
to be fair.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the stuff that Crimson Desert is doing, like if like Ubisoft, any of their open world games, Skill Up has said this in the past. It's very vast, right? It's not the mile wide, inch deep, but it's very vast. But there's really nothing to do, and the stuff there is to do is the same stuff over and over type of stuff, right? So it kind of gets mundane and boring.
But we've discussed that before. Every game is a fetch quest.
Correct.
Every game. But how they disguise it and make you feel like what you're doing in it is the difference.
This game does a really good job of, there's puzzles, and there's like 7 or 8 different puzzles that I've found so far. They're not all puzzles are not the same, right? Then there's, if you want a management system of your camp, there's that. If you want to go on a fetch quest, there's that. If you want to go on large scale battles, there's that. If you want to just explore the, so what this game is doing is
the options keep you busy enough so you're not doing a repetitive activity over and over again.
Correct. And they do a really good job of juggling this so you don't just do one thing, because even when you go down your checklist, the missions are different. Right. And then they have the Abyss, which is just puzzles. Then they have the other thing. There's dungeons, and then there's boss fights, and there's different things. So I don't know. I think it's a little bit he's breaking it down to the bare bones. And I think that's unfair. And it's a little weird coming from.
No, it's not unfair. It's because he's speaking from a point of his opinion. That's why.
But coming from his opinion, is Baldur's Gate 3 original in every way, shape, or form? No. It's borrowed mechanics from other games.
But that's how games get better.
Correct. You just raising the bar. Hence why I was talking about there's a bar.
Either it's going to be a graphical enhancement, it's going to be a more in-depth combat system, it's going to be a more in-depth mechanic system within the game, like for instance, like what the powers do to your character. Like these are all systems inside of a game that give the game and flavor. So if one game does it well, but another game comes out and copies them, but they do the same thing better, then that's the improvement.
Correct.
And if that game sells just as much, everyone likes the new mechanics or the new things in that game, then that becomes the new floor. And we start from there and we go up. That's the whole point, right? You won't even be playing the games you have today if not for people doing that thing, right? Just that. That's how we got the games we got. Like you got a Baldur's Gate 3 because you played Knights of the Old Republic. You played Mass Effect. You played all these other games. You played Baldur's Gate. And you played Divinity all together, and then you ended up with a Baldur's Gate 3. Like that's how it fucking works.
Pone says Larian took a mechanic and made it better. Crimson hasn't taken a mechanic and made it better. I disagree. There's things that they've done in this game where they made an open world game better than other open world games because of there's so much to do. There's not, so they've made open world games better, right? They've made an open world game better. They took the mechanic of an open world and made it interesting, so you're not bored. Now, obviously, there are people that'll get bored because some people just don't like open world games because they don't like they want their handheld.
You can't fix someone that has chronic ADD.
Right. Well, actually, we have somebody talks about. I gotta find the. Where is it? Someone talks about. Where is it?
If you got to stay entertained every 5 minutes from something different all the time, number one, you're not gonna be able to hold on to a job for very long. but number two, I don't know how to help you at that point.
I'm trying
there's enough going on in this game to keep you busy. That's for certain.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But you don't feel. But what I haven't heard anyone say in all the videos I've watched, what I haven't heard anyone say is they're compelled to finish the story. Like you're compelled to go through the main story. Like you're compelled to do it. Like
I don't think
you're talking to somebody and things happen and you want to continue with that story. There's no drive to, but there is a drive to explore. There's a drive to find everything
in the world. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There's so the achievement on Xbox for completing the main campaign is 0.16%. Not even 0.25% of people that finished it, at least on Xbox, to complete through the actual story. Right. So going to the open world stuff, right? So let's bring this up. An indie studio co-founder believes that nobody cares about huge open worlds anymore. Instead, devs should pick just one thing and do it exceptionally well. So the reason I brought this up is because what Pone said, right? He goes, they did better. Larian did better. They improved and made mechanics better. I like to say that the open world that Crimson Desert made is a better open world. They took the open world mechanic, and then this is saying should pick just one thing and do it exceptionally well. What about that one thing exceptionally well is an open world, right? So this guy is saying that open worlds are not the thing, and you should focus and do that game better than not making an open world and make an open world safe, right? I believe Crimson Desert took the open world and said, we're going to do open world really well. We don't care about story. We're going to make this world the best open world game. And I think they exceptionally did that.
Well, if you're going to argue back and forth between the story and the open worlds, do you think it's easier to go back and make a story for the game that has a really good open world and then go back and put a story in it? Or is it better to have the story and then give me more shit to do later on?
Well, Suicide Squad had a story. I like the story, but the gameplay sucked.
But they didn't follow through with that story. They copped out in the middle.
Well, of course, because it's a live service game, and they wanted to keep going with it.
No. What I mean when they copped out is instead of going through with the actual storyline, which is you get to kill the heroes, they kind of backtracked it, is what they did.
Because it's a live service game, and they wanted to continue it down the road. My whole point is that I would rather have a game that's entertaining and have good gameplay than a fantastic story and shitty gameplay. Right? You can give me the best graphics in the world, but if it has a great story, but the mechanics of the game itself is shitty, I wouldn't want that personally.
But a lot of the guys that are talking about the game who've played it, if you're reviewing it, once again, you need to have like some kind of qualifications. Like you tell me, I need to see in your bio, like what games have you played? Are you a first person guy? Are you a real-time strategy guy? Are you a turn-based guy? Like I need to know what games you play what your background is. Because like at the very beginning, at the very end of this at the title here, it says, I'm certainly feeling that big game burnout. Now, big game burnout means different things. Big game burnout could mean it's so big that you don't know what to do. Or there's so much stuff going on that you need closure. And because there's no definitive end to it, you don't like wandering around. Like there's different meanings to these words. I can't take half the people what they say about the game because most of them don't talk about the mechanics and what they're playing about the game. They're talking about the abstract and how they feel about what the game should or should not do while they play it.
Well, this particular person's not talking about Crimson Desert. He's just talking about games in general, open worlds, right? He says big game burnout is real. And he says, I suffer from it. I used to play multiple AAA games to open world games simultaneously, but now all I can muster up is a passion for one at a time as I drip fed myself shorter games to help tie myself over. He says, for a long time, many games have been focused on creating these infinite, replayable, high retention, forever experiences. He says, Nick Lives, co-founder, creative director of Night Signal Entertainment, says during an interview with Edge 420, he says, either the magic works or you are actually play them forever until you die, or at least the spell wears off in the last impressions of getting burnt out. I think the spell wears off, regardless if it's open world or not. You play a game until, I always talk about the wizard behind the curtain. So you like, if you play a live service game like Destiny, Warframe, the First Descendant, whatever, you play the game, you're like, oh, this is so good. But then there's that moment you're like, oh, yeah,
Well,
I don't want
to. The new car smell is going to end.
I don't want to play anymore because
the new car smell is going to end. That's fine. But the point is that if I play, okay, let me put it this way: if I play for 300 hours or 400 hours, but I haven't finished the main story yet, that basically could tell you it's a burnout situation. You're gonna be burnt out because you didn't even get to finish what the game finish is,
right?
Because you were so vested in the exploration. But you didn't choose not to pick it's not that you didn't choose to pick the main story. It's that everything else kept you busy enough that it wasn't worth following the story. And then you got burnt out because you had enough. I've been playing the same thing for X number of hours and I want to move on to something else. That's justified.
Yeah. I think his thing is that open world games, he says it willingly and says that he's played multiple open world games and got burnt out. Well, yeah, if I eat, food analogy incoming, if I eat the same cuisine every single day, whatever that cuisine is, I'm going to get tired and sick of it. So I want to switch it up. So even here, he says, I think gradually warming up to the idea of self-contained, satisfying one-off experiences, which is fine, like a Requiem, right? Resident Evil 9 Requiem, like I call these palate cleansers is what I call it when I'm playing video games, right?
But at the same time, the way you guys have talked about this game and then the videos that I have watched, your guy is a Swiss Army knife. You can make him into whatever you want. Sure. So it's not like a game that you're going to start up, go through as this type of warrior, and then have to replay the game again and go through it as somebody else and get a different outcome. You can change your guy in the game on a fly the entire time you're playing it. So I don't see a replayability for this game, but I see the long-term play of the game existing in the world. Different, right?
Right. I just think this guy is burnt out from open world games, and he's saying that no one's interested in it. I don't think that's true. I think
he's not interested in it.
Correct. I think there's plenty of people that are. That's like saying car games, or I don't like car games because it's the same thing. You might not like card, but this is why there's so many different genres, so many different games. Someone that likes Souls-like games keeps buying Souls-like games because they like those games. You might play and go, I'm tired of this. I'm never going to play this again type of thing, right? So I don't know. I think he's coming from a weird place saying that nobody wants an open world game during the time that an open world game just came out and it's very successful.
But when you're trying to be objective and you're a journalist, you're not supposed to use infinitives. You're not supposed to say everybody or nobody or all people. Yeah. Right. You're supposed to give the point of view that you're trying to say and use facts to back it up. You don't like it. Maybe you and your friends don't like it. So you wrote down nobody likes it because you put yourself into the article, as opposed to saying, according to recent studies, open world game sales have dropped off in the last 5 years. But really what's happened is nobody's had a good enough open world game that anybody wanted to spend any fucking time in.
Right.
So when you finally release one that's actually decent, it does well. Surprise.
Space Marines, we've been playing for like a month and a half every Wednesday. I think it's an awesome game. But the last 2 weeks, I was like, Sarge, I don't want to play Space Marines, right? I want to play something else. We played Helldivers 1 week. We played Star Wars. I don't like to play something just like, even though I'm 100 hours deep into Crimson Desert because of the type of game it is.
It's just not ringing the bell like that game is.
Right. I don't want to keep doing the exact same thing over and over because you get burnt out. There's thousands of games to play. I don't own thousands of games. I own hundreds of games. And, we'll go back and play, like I said, a palate cleanser, right? You play a game for so long, you're like, you know what? I don't want to get burnt out. I'm going to go play something else to kind of cleanse my palate and then go back and you take a break.
Sure. Yeah. But that's what keeps things interesting.
Of course.
I have played, I fall into the same problem. I have played a game that I've loved to the point where I don't longer want to even look at it anymore. That's how many hours I played.
Yeah.
Right. I'll say it many times over. That's what I did with Borderlands 2. I love the Borderlands series, but I played Borderlands 2 for so long that I didn't even care about the series anymore. Like I was not interested in looking at it. because that's how many hours I put into it. I needed something different, needed something else to look at, needed something else to play. And don't get me wrong, right? I remember all the times of hysterically laughing when we played multiplayer on that game. I remember all the moments I had inside that game, all the little things that we did, all the secrets that we found, everything. But I've done it multiple times with different games. So in my current life, what I'm doing right now, I know that I don't have time for that game, even though definitely would scratch the itch that I have for an open world game.
Right.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have played Skyrim 6 or 7 times full playthroughs. Same thing.
Some of the best selling games of all time are open world games. Minecraft, Skyrim, Grand Theft Autos 3, 4, 5, Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2, like some of the Assassin's Creed game, like some of the best selling games of all time are wide open games. Obviously, there's other ones out there too that are not wide open game, open world games. But to say that no one's interested in open world games anymore is just silly.
But it's okay to have a one and done game that does really well and you
Sure.
move on to something else.
Sure.
But the issue is currently is they all want the same type of game and they don't have enough player pool to all exist at the same time for those games. Like if you think about it, they're probably sitting around, and I'm not talking about the Pearl Abyss. I'm talking about just other developers sitting around thinking that if we make this game and this is our scope and this is what we're thinking about, and we play the game, and they realize, well, if somebody would play, if someone who has the time will play our game, they could probably finish the game in maybe like 40 or 50 hours. And then they break it down to say, if it's someone that plays once a week, how long would that be? Or someone that actually, you know what I mean? Like they figure out the time that you're going to need from somebody. But everybody can't decide that you want to fit into that box, because where do you fit your game in amongst the thousands of games that people play? If you don't have a one and done game, you better make sure you're releasing it around the time where not a lot of games like yours is being released, because it's a time sink. That's what it is.
Well, the next story I want to talk about is this game that was we watched this morning. ACG had an overview of this game. It's called Samson. Okay. And right after I watched this thing after this morning's stream, this article came out 5 hours ago on Samson, which I thought was interesting because while we watched the video this morning, it's an open world game, but it's a smaller open world, and it's about a 10-hour campaign and about a 20-hour total game. Like if you do the side missions and stuff like that, right?
A one and
everything
done.
Everything ACG was saying, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. You can see it was a little rough. It's using the Unreal Engine. There's a couple of hitches and stuff that were happening in the thing, and I was like, oh, it seems interesting. Then this article came out after my stream, and I read this article, and I was like, on my stream, I said, this is a hold off because ACG said something very interesting near the end of his review or his overview of it. He said that this studio let go of half of their staff last year, okay, and they pushed the game back to this year. And it comes out April 8th. It comes out next week, okay? It's a smaller game as far as price-wise, which is $25.
They pushed it back a year?
I don't know if they pushed it back a year or they pushed it back 6 months, but it was supposed to come out last year. They fired half the staff, and then they pushed it into this year to April 8th, okay? So it's coming out April 8th, and it says it's open world crime game. Samson had a paired back in mid-development, okay, which also led to unusual structure and becomes more unique. Now, there was supposed to be like a roguelike aspect in here. It says it's rough and tumble, roguelike adjacent structure will never be encountered in the genre before and was created purely out of necessity. Okay, the reality is the industry hit us about a year ago, and we laid off half the team, says former Just Cause Mad Max creator. We didn't restructure. We didn't do something organizational optimization, whatever else everyone else is calling it. He says we laid off half the team, and we were close to our friends. So something happened where the money ran out. They had to get rid of half their team, and they had to fundamentally change the game. Okay, so when I heard ACG say that, I was like,
big scope, not enough cash.
Correct. I was like, oh. As soon as I heard him say, I was like, I would hold off on this. But the price point's $25, right? And I was like, two reasons that's happening is that they don't think they're going to get the money that they asked for, which is probably $50, $60. So they lowered it because they're missing stuff. Another thing that he says in this article, he says so a lot of those are more RPG systems are waiting to get back in the game, maybe for a sequel or for post-launch. I don't know really.
Big scope, not enough cash. That's it.
Right. And then he says at the bottom here, Where is it? He says it down here. And this is where I was like, uh-oh. Okay. Samson won't be bug free on release.
You're not telling me anything.
We're making it the best it really can be. We can't do more than that. Obviously, he's like, look, it is what it is. This is what we had left. This is what we're putting out. This is why they're putting it down to $25. I guarantee it, because basically it's like an early access, right? It's an early access price for a game. If it does well, then they'll be able to put money back into it.
Right, but they're not saying that, but yeah.
Correct, right? And despite the imminent deadline, Liquid Swords aren't crunching. We're too old for that, he says. He says we're super efficient during our work hours and then come back the next day. It's like the game almost, right? If the game is basically every day, you have your cash that you have. So nevertheless, there's clearly a lot of pressure. It's more up here than anything else, he says, Soderbergh. But pointing to his head, he's like, I've never been this nervous before of a game launch ever in 33 years. Because it's too much at stake. And I put my chin pretty far out there for the studio and for this game. Sure. I made a promise to the team that I couldn't keep a year ago. And now I made a promise to the team that are just working their asses off to finish the game. So
still, there's nothing wrong with the position that they're in. This happens a lot. Big scope, not enough cash.
Right, which is happening a lot.
Well,
a lot.
Maybe they need to go look and hire some better accountants. You know what I mean? Like, you do understand that if you're about to release a game and you have to fire half your staff, that's not like a surprise for that morning that you didn't know you have enough funds. You know, accounting goes on weekly, right? It's not like a guy comes in, writes the budget, and then he leaves the building never to be seen again until you release the game. Like, that's not how fucking accounting works, bro. If the scope was too big, great. I'm sure he put his ass on the line for it. I'm sure they were sitting around spitballing what they had to do, and they ran out of time and they ran out of money. You run out of both things, probably.
Well, here's what I'm thinking, Hero, right? What the game's spectrum was supposed to be, they had to cut it. They had to cut it way back, right? So what he's saying,
but did they say they were cutting the price though? Did they say that?
Or they didn't say they cut the price. They said they had to cut the scope.
Okay.
I'm assuming the $25 because he says there's a whole system that's not in there that they wanted to be in there. Okay.
Out of time, out of money.
They said that they maybe will put it in down the road or maybe in the sequel. Well, I'll tell you what, you might not have enough money.
Well, that's my point.
To even make this one successful, let alone talk about a sequel.
Yeah, but see, when's the game? Okay, but here's
April 8th. It comes out.
Here's the clicking, right? You say it's delayed a year. It was delayed last year to this year, or now it's delayed a year right now?
No, it was supposed to come out last year.
Okay.
They had the layoffs.
Coming out this year.
I don't know if it's been a year of delay. I'm just saying they pushed it back from 2025 to 2026. No,
it's fine.
Yeah.
When did they announce the price for the game?
I don't know. They just said it's $25, and that's what you can look at today. I heard it today. So
they're probably looking to make sure that they don't piss any of the people off that like those kind of games.
They're like, what's a good price that people will give it a shot? That
right.
don't think even if it is broke in some way, shape, or form. That's why I said a clip of this. He's like, so it's basically like a early access.
Early access. Yeah. Yep.
Look, if the game comes out and it's fun and it's not broke and the mechanics in the game that they've made are good, then I think they can make a, I don't know the budget.
Well, is it? Well, somebody said it in chat. Is it a mind's eye?
Could be. It doesn't look like a mind's eye, but it could be. Right. So hopefully it comes out next week. Hopefully it does good. I don't think it's going to do very well. Hopefully it makes its money back. We don't know what the budget is, but apparently they're charging $25. So I'm assuming it's not a $200 million budget game. I'm assuming it's a couple of, 10 million, 15 million, maybe 20 million.
I'm sure that the way that they speak in the article, they really care about the game, which means they probably put a lot of time, blood, sweat, and tears into the game.
It looks interesting. It looks like it's got some weight behind it. Like the cars actually looked good when you're driving them. The fist fighting looked good. It looked like it had some, impact and stuff like that, like weight behind it. I would have to see it. I say they should do this, but this is just me. If you want this game to sell, you got to put a demo up. If it's the first mission, something. You got to put a small demo up.
I think they would rather gamble on the people that would want to take a chance on a game like that
Word of mouth.
than show a demo and remove the gamble of those people actually buying it.
I guess, but I think if you have confidence in your game and you put a demo out, it's going to sell. But if you don't have confidence and then people buy it and go, it's 6 months off, it's 8 months off.
Yeah, but it's a fickle market. If you release a demo and it's not up, it's not the bad word of mouth from a demo will hurt sales more than if you just release the game and have the people who actually want to try a game and know the risks involved and just pay the money to get the game.
I think the reason I want a demo is to see how the fighting is. If you could show me and how it feels to do the fighting,
you can watch videos about it. People have put videos up.
Hogwarts Legacy, when we watched the fighting mechanics, we didn't know if the fighting was going to be good. As soon as you play it, you're like, oh, well, the combat's good, right? With the wand and stuff and the way it was very good. So I don't know. I for a small company like this, I think they should put a demo, because a lot of the demos, like all these other small games like TCG Card Simulator, Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, they put demos up there, and then it sold very well because of it. So I don't know. Hopefully I'm completely wrong and there's no problems and it comes out and it's a great game for $25, right? Great game for $25. Like I said, it's a short. ACG even said it kind of reminds him of like a RoboCop, right? And RoboCop was good. It wasn't great. It was good. It was a good game, right? It hits spot on. Now, obviously, this is not an IP that people know. It's a brand new IP, so it doesn't have that RoboCop name behind it. But if it's something like that and it feels good to play, I think it'll be fine. All right, let's go from that to let's talk about the big in the room here, which is Sony. Last week, Sarge, we talked about a rumor about Sony PlayStation speculatively raising prices for the PlayStation. Right after our show, the next morning on Friday, they officially announced the prices rising for PlayStation. This article says Sony raised PlayStation 5's prices in key regions, and Xbox instantly becomes a cheaper console, creating one of the funniest value swings in years, right? Because Xbox pulled themselves completely out of the running. Guys, they weren't making sales anyway. And then they raised the price 2 times in 6 months and completely took themselves out of the market, right? Sony went up a little bit 10 months ago, and now here we are 10 months later, they went up again, right? So both companies have gone up in price 2 times now within a 12-month cycle. And now, because Sony raised the prices, we're now approaching $900 for the current console. It's not a brand new console, not the slim version with the higher terabytes or better graphics. Just the same console that was on Monday. On Tuesday is now $200 more. Okay, so as the show states, they're pricing us out of gaming. Okay, I don't really care about Sony raising the prices. It's about the gaming industry is what I want to talk about with you, Sarge. Is the gaming industry, when we were younger, right? Systems were $200, $300, unless it was the Neo Geo or the Atari Jaguar that was like $500, $600 back in the day. And they didn't work out very well because, well, they didn't have developers making games for them, and there wasn't enough
because they're too expensive.
Correct. And there wasn't enough systems out there for people to use it so they went bankrupt, basically, right? Went bye-bye. What's happening right now in the gaming industry?
It's the same thing.
It's the exact same thing. So now Sony's raising their prices. Nintendo went up $150 from what the Switch 1 was to the Switch 2. But this is a new console for Switch, right? So they didn't just raise the old Switch up and be like, hey, we're charging $700 now. They came out with a brand new console to at least say, hey, this is why we're charging more. Xbox and Sony, every console cycle did this, right? Halfway through the life cycle, like if it was $500, it would be like $300 now. You know what I mean? More people would buy it. Less people are buying consoles. 57% of the people on PlayStation still have a PlayStation 4. They haven't gone to a PlayStation 5. I think it's like 48% of the Xbox users are still on the Xbox One or below, right? So with these prices going up, and now they're approaching the lower end PC market, okay? And we don't know where the Steam Decks or the Steam machines coming in. We don't know what the next Xbox or the next PlayStation is going to cost. What do you think that's going to happen here? As these consoles rise, obviously make the problem, sell the solution, which is the Game Pass, the PlayStation Now, all the other streaming services. right there waiting. You don't want to pay for the console? Well, you can play these things on the other devices. But what do you think is going to happen? Do you think we have a crash like we did in 84 or 83, I should say?
It's not the same. It's not the same circumstances. The original crash was because the market was flooded with shitty games. And even back then, the games were between like $40 and $50 back then. And so
right. Well, now we have an abundance of games.
You have a bunch of shitty games.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of shitty games. And so no one wants to buy the shitty games. And so you just have overstock. But you remember physical games, physical products, that kind of thing. This one, you're talking about the hardware. You're not talking about the software. You're talking about the hardware. The hardware, you're basically making the consoles as like the exclusive console amongst other consoles, except now there is no other consoles. You're the console. So you are the Neo Geo now.
Right.
Like,
you are the Neo Geo, you are the Atari Jaguar.
Right. Sony decided that their box is worth more value to them or to you. And so now they're the Neo Geo price. But at the same time, if you're going to put yourself at that level, you're gonna remove yourself from the middle market. So they're hoping that the higher end market will pay the price just to have the system. But this is just looking at it from an old system that's been out for 5 years. What would the new system cost?
Right. And I think this is why they put it up high to condition you over the next year or two.
Sure. So when the other console comes out, you're like, well, that's how much the console was anyway, right? Because that's how your brain thinks.
900. So
right. So paying $1,100 or $1,200 is not a big deal, right? Because the old system only cost $9, right? Okay. But point being is, even if you just take the average income of a family and you divide it up amongst price point for like entertainment value, you're pricing out a lot of the middle market. You're pricing out the middle class. So whether or not you want to say it's for rich people or whatever else, the medium was meant to be for middle income families, right? A PC originally was the high end thing because you didn't have a lot of money to buy a PC, right? PCs came down in price. More people have it. Apple did the whole thing, pushing software out, pushing PCs out. That's why everybody got Macs for all those years, right? Because they brought the computer price down to a point where the average family could get one, right? That was the whole point. Remember, get a computer in every house, right? So now you're talking about the same kind of, I guess you're talking about the mentality of getting a console and everybody else, but you don't want us to have the console because they want to sell chips to somebody else. I get that. You're going to go where the money is. But at the same time, is the value of your console really $1,000? Is the price point for your entertainment for a box now $1,000? Or is this just a larger version of what people did already, which is I have a system, I play a bunch of games, GameStop has a bunch of games, I get a bunch of games online, I have a PS4, I don't need a PlayStation 5. I don't need to have the top end
games. So many games to play on the old systems.
Right. You're telling me 10,000 games a year, 15,000 games a year? Okay. So if I'm going to go with value, then I guess if I can have my controller and I can get a PC and it's my entertainment for everything, then I just get a PC. But I don't see how you're going to get the middle class to want to buy a $1,000 console in order for entertainment purposes when you just raised it up and it's the older system. I don't see how you're going to sell consoles. And if you don't sell consoles, you can't sell software.
Correct. So
what is Sony's plan? You think that the guys who didn't buy a PlayStation 5 now, you think that those people $250 ago weren't going to buy it, but you think that now they're going to buy it? You think now it's worth an extra $250?
The only way I could think that Sony does, if they're going to make the problem and sell the solution, that they have their own Game Pass coming.
Well, that would be the only saving grace if they have their own Game Pass coming. Because otherwise, how do you sell games?
I don't know, because if you're asking the average person to buy $900 console, even if it's $700 for
they don't have it
or whatever, $700, $900, whatever it is, you're asking the average person to come in. Well, they're not going to do that, right?
Well, the people in this room probably have more savvy and more money to buy games and stuff. We don't have like an entire demographic of everybody in this chat, the people that come in and watch us, though. Like most people here understand gaming, understand PCs. There might be a few in here that don't, but majority of the guys that watch us in chat, they're PC and console savvy.
Yeah.
Right. So we can't say that we wouldn't buy it because you guys did buy it. Like you guys bought the system when it comes out. You guys got the Pro when it came out. Most of you got, or you saved up and got it. Like you're going to buy the system. But the point is the regular Joes buying a console. Who's buying $1,000 console that's 5 years old?
Right. Yeah, but Roadkill, when everyone says that a PC they want to sit on their couch, you can plug a computer into a television.
Into a television.
Right? You can do that, right? Like I don't understand. Like, so okay, by what you're saying is that means the Steam machine is going to sell better than any other console ever created, because now the PC can now be hooked up to the television magically through the Steam machine instead of a regular computer, right? Because it's a small little box, it looks like a console, so it's going to get put into the living rooms and it'll sell great. Like the problem is if you're losing the middle class and lower class, you're losing 2/3 of the people that have been buying your consoles secondhand, firsthand, all the systems, digital, physical. You're losing these people because they can't afford it now, right? Where the video game industry,
the whales aren't going to be able to sustain the price.
Well, no, because they'll get bored because no one will be playing the games. They'll be like, oh, there'll be empty lobbies because no one's playing the actual game anymore, right? People with more money than time just buy stuff.
Care.
They don't care.
They'll buy it.
People that have no money are looking for deals. They're looking for sales. They buy that one game and they'll play that game until it doesn't even run anymore.
But also, to be fair, most people in this chat and most people that you even know haven't lived during a negative economic time.
Right.
We have. Some people in this chat have, but most of them have not. You don't know what it is that you don't get everything that you want. And if you want something, you have to find a way to get at it by doing extra work or getting extra jobs or whatever else. But it's not like it. The entitlement for you to have a video game system is where we are now. Like you don't just get it. You can't just go out to the store and buy one because you feel like buying one. Now it matters.
Right.
Now it matters. You have to fork out $1,000 to get
the first thing that goes entertainment. Like that's the first thing that goes when people are trying to save money. That's what they do. They're like, well, can't afford that.
Correct. That's correct.
So I guess we'll see what happens. If the next Xbox is $1,000. And I don't know where some people are saying like there's PCs. To get a PC, you got to spend like $15,000, $2,000, $3,000. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like there's budget PCs out there.
That's because they haven't priced a PC.
Plus, if you buy an Xbox or a Sony PlayStation, after 5 years with all the online that you have to pay, the money that you're spending on the online every year for 5 years is more than if you just bought the PC, right? Over 5 years. And then you can still upgrade your PC. Where you can't upgrade your Xbox or PlayStation, you got to buy either new PlayStation or Xbox or the next generation that comes out, or buy a secondhand PlayStation again if yours breaks. Where if your PC breaks, you can just replace that part and continue using that PC, right? This is what I don't understand. Plus, you can do a shit ton more stuff on your PC than you can do on your console.
Yeah, but the PC does everything.
That's what I'm saying.
It's an entertainment thing, and it does all the other stuff, work and everything else.
Correct.
But your box, your magical box only plays games. So are you ready to play? Are you ready to pay $1,000 for a box that just plays games?
Just plays games.
Right. Are you ready to pay $1,000 for that? Some people will say yes, but I don't think the middle class will.
Yeah, no, they won't. It's proven that they
won't. Well, if what you say is true, or a theory is correct, then what does the rest of Sony's year look like if you can't sell consoles?
I mean, if you can't sell consoles, and you have to sell more peripherals to the people that have your consoles, which is the higher end.
What are you going to sell me? What are you going to sell me?
They're going to sell you a more expensive controller. They're going to sell you,
and even better,
handheld. They're going to sell you.
And even better, the way that they talk after the rumor, I'm not sure if it's 100% fact yet, but the rumor is that they're going to pull Sony's going to pull their PC releases off of PC and only put them on PlayStation as a way to get people to buy $1,000 box. I don't know if that's going to work either. I don't know if you're willing to wait several years or buy a PlayStation at $1,000 to play a first party game. It sounds weird.
I think the problem here is all the reports that we've talked about of everyone's playing 9-10-year-old games. nobody needs to buy a new game. Nobody needs to buy a new game. There's so many games out there. You could buy a PlayStation 4 right now that you've never played it before. Right? You just my brother-in-law still on a 360. Right? If he buys a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, he's got like 15,000 games he can play on these two systems. You know what I'm saying? There's ridiculous amounts of games he can play on these systems.
But
he doesn't need to buy a brand new system.
Sure,
to play the one
he
game.
he is definitely a low percentage person though. He's not
Sure.
he's not really
What I'm saying is all the reports we've talked about, they say all the people are playing 10-year-old games. They're not buying new games.
Well,
they're playing the old games.
Okay, this is not really hard to go over. Somebody who wants to have entertainment is just playing the game for the fun of it. They're
Correct.
just playing a game to pass the time. The people in this room and most people that we talk with, they buy the latest. They buy the latest. The greatest. We are the low percentage. We buy games because we want to see the newest thing out. We want to see whatever's coming out. We want to play it. We want to discuss it with our friends. We are not those people. We want it now. We want the game. Whatever's out, we're buying it. That is not the masses.
Correct,
but they are completely happy playing on a PS4.
But they can't
playing
sustain
video
the business. They can't sustain the business with just the 1%ers.
I'm aware of that. My question to you is the same. What does Sony do if you cannot sell consoles?
They have to be working on their own Game Pass or something. I don't know. They have to have the PlayStation Pass. I have no idea but they have to have something.
That would be the win, Brain. That would be the win. The win would be all the corpos collapse and we're left with indies running the show until somebody else becomes the new corpo. That would be the golden age of gaming. That would be the second golden age of gaming.
Okay. So let's say all the systems come out, right? The Steam machine comes out. Let's say it's $800, $900, same price as the PlayStation, right? The next Xbox comes out, it's $900 to $1,000, right? So now you have the new Xbox, you have the new Steam machine, and you have the PlayStation 6. They're all at $900 to $1,000. Okay,
Yep.
Which one are you buying?
I'm not.
No. If you're buying one, which one are you buying?
Okay, if I have nothing, if I own nothing,
if you're in the market,
one of those am I going to buy?
If you're in the market for $1,000 console,
yeah,
are you buying the Steam machine? Are you buying the new Xbox? Are you buying the new PlayStation?
I would need to see the specs for all three first to see what has the best specs. Then that would be the one I buy.
I wouldn't even need to see the specs. It would be the Steam machine over all the other ones because I can play more games on the Steam machine than I can play on the Xbox or the PlayStation.
Because it's a PC, basically.
Correct. Without even seeing specs. It would be the best bang for buck. I can play the more things on the Steam machine than I can play on any of the other two systems.
I mean,
so why am I buying PlayStation if PlayStation only plays PlayStation games?
If the
I can play third-party games on everything.
If the GameCube is not expandable, customizable. If I could change things and out of it, then yes.
See, I don't even think they'll let you change stuff. I just think the better value is just Steam. Just Steam is a better value. So if they come in at the exact same price or just a little bit under, hell, just a little bit over, I think the Steam machine sells more because they'll be like, we've had this whole generation of people owning PlayStation and Xbox, and we're waiting for the systems to be like, show me what it does.
They haven't.
Games.
They haven't.
The third-party games have been saving these consoles, not the first-party title games.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they don't have control of their own budgets. They think that the money's unlimited. Somehow the brain damage from COVID that they suffered from never came back to reality, right? They thought that this was going to be forever. They thought people being in their houses was going to be forever, which is a joke. Okay. But the fact remains is you cannot have a forever market on hardware that's outdated in 5 years when your teams can't make games in 5 years. If you can't release games during the same cycle that your system is supposed to exist, then you have a broken system. Right? Once again, the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 2 had the popularity that they did because of the chip problem we had back then that everyone forgets to talk about. That's the reason why the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox 360 stayed around for 11 years, because of the chip problem. Now you want to ignore the chip problem again, except now their answer to having a game system for longer is we're going to charge you 30% more for the same console. And I believe a normal consumer will just use what they have for entertainment. They're not going to spend 30% more on hardware that's the same.
Well, look what happened to MetaQuest. MetaQuest was the fastest selling VR headset. It had 8 million sales or whatever. But then what was it, 2 years ago? Maybe even 3 years ago. They raised the price. They raised the price from $299 to $399. It went up to $100 or $200, whatever it was. And all of a sudden, everyone, because someone said earlier, oh, people are going out to buy the PlayStation before it goes up in price. People went out and bought the Quest, the MetaQuest, before it went up in price on Tuesday. And then no one's really bought it. They've had problems selling MetaQuests, and so much so that then they've shifted the complete business model of what Meta is doing with the MetaQuest because it's not selling as much anymore. They stopped with the AI stuff. They stopped using their, I think it's called Meta World or whatever it was called. Okay. They've stopped because no sales were happening anymore for the MetaQuest because they raised the price. Nothing changed. Nothing changed with the actual hardware. They just raised it $150 from Monday to Tuesday, and people were like, nah, I'm good. I don't need it. That's just $150. And that was a $200 item to $300 to $400. This went from $400, $500 to $900. People are like, why do I need
for no reason? Well, the reason why the chip prices went up is the same reason why the stock went down for Pearl Abyssal. Everyone gave bad information, sent the stock price down. Meanwhile, the company has no negatives in its business model. And as soon as the initial bullshit of them lying about the game came out, the stock went back up to stabilize.
Yeah.
Same principle. Chip shortage because AI is sucking it up. So we can't have it. So then you're either waiting for the market to stabilize where they make more chips and the price goes back down again for the chips, not for the system, mind you, right? Because you know the price is never going to go back down to normal now. Like this, they think that this is going to be the new normal. Well, I got news for you. Unless Sony sells consoles, you're not really making any money. I hope your TV sales are doing better because you're not going to be selling consoles.
Yeah, they're actually down. Pone, you can't make a comparison to a phone. I'll tell you what. If you're comparing your phone to a console, go ahead and put your phone down right now. Try to live without your phone. You can't. You need your phone. You don't need a PlayStation or an Xbox. You don't need your console to pay things with, right? You don't need to make phone calls with your console, right? You can't even compare the two between a cell phone, $1,000, and then you're also not paying $1,000 for your cell phone because they're subsidizing the phone because of your 3-year plan that you're there and you're
huge subsidized,
right?
Subsidies.
So you're not even paying $1,000 for your cell phone. It's not even close to the same thing. Nice try though. Nice try.
Listen,
all right, the next thing,
go ahead.
We got a couple of layoffs here going on, right? So we're going to talk about a couple of layoffs. We've got
a couple. We got monstrous layoffs.
Mech Warrior Studio, Piranha Games lays off 30% of its employees, right? We're not even going to go into much of the story. That's one company that's losing stuff. Then we have, I think this is the second company. Yeah, we have Idios Montreal to lay off 124 employees. Okay, and we'll get back to this one in a second. Okay, then we have this one. Bloodbath at Oracle as staff stunned by brutal 6 a.m. layoff emails. Okay. They fired, was it 30,000?
30,000 people.
Is that what it is?
That is the closest to Zorg firing 1 million cab drivers.
Is it 30,000?
Yeah, it's 30,000. Yeah.
I don't see in May of 2025, the software company employed around 162,000 full-time employees according to the annual filing. I heard it was 30,000.
Yeah, the number I got was 30,000.
That's fucking nuts.
That's as close as you're going to get to Zorg saying fire a million.
Fire 1 million people.
Yeah.
Oracle's headcount drop. Oh no, it says 10,000. Dropped from 165,000 to 155 this morning. So only 10,000. 10,000 people.
Yeah, today.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. 1,000 jobs attempted a massive AI data center expansion effort, leaving investors worried about how they could fund such efforts. In February, the company announced plans to raise up to $50 billion this year in order to fund what they call the rapidly growing cloud infrastructure business. So lots and lots of in the tech field, video games, software, lots of people losing their jobs. So 10,000 people so far, and they got an email at 6 a.m. to say, hey, by the way, don't bother coming into work today.
Bro, that's the worst, bro. A 6 a.m. email. That's fucking cold as ice, bro. As a matter of fact, that's exactly like how Bruce Willis got fired. The piece of paper came in the tube.
Yes, from Fifth Element. Yeah,
that's exactly how he got fired.
It is exactly how he got fired. I want to go back to the Eidos Montreal, right? Because there's two parts of this story where Eidos Montreal, their 7-year-old game that they've been working on for 7 years got canceled, which was called Wildlands. Okay, yesterday, Eidos Montreal layoffs were due to cancellation of Wildlands, a game that had been in development since early 2019. Now, first report of the Insider Game in December 2025 was projected that known as P11, as it was the 11th project in development at the studio. According to source, the game has been struggling for years, with 4 different game engines used throughout the development narrative. Direction conflicts and budget had exploded to several hundreds of million, and then the game sprawling budget resulted in several projects of the studio being canceled, including the new DXS game in January 2024. Now, the footage of the game sent to the Insider Gaming on the condition that has also got not go public shows a Wildlands has an open world third-person action adventure game in which players would take control of the character's name, River. River was part of a group of teenagers called the Spirit Bounds, who also could be ward off bad spirits with their magical staffs. All right, so there's stuff going around now because of Eidos Montreal firing 120 people. They're connecting this now with Fable. Okay, now Fable, Eidos Montreal, the other part of the studio, has always been a, as I call it in the film industry, second unit. Okay, a second unit is someone that comes into the production and helps with the production along the way, being second team, shooting a bunch of stuff. At the end of your stint, you get let go because you're not on the full production. Okay, sometimes you don't even make the credits because you didn't work long enough to do the credit type of thing. Sometimes you're in second unit, sometimes you're not. Eidos Montreal is a second company for Playground Games. Playground Games is the main studio working on Fable. Eidos Montreal, because of their layoffs, they're saying that now Fable's in trouble, some of the people that are making videos out there. And that is not official or in any way because there is second unit. There is team that helps the other people where they need help, but they're not the group of people that's making the actual game. Playground Games is making Fable. These guys were a second unit, basically, where they were contracted workers to help there. And now because of these layoffs, those people are getting pulled from Fable because they're doing other things if they lost their job with that. But most of the staff is from this game that got canceled after 7 years, right? So until it comes out officially that Eidos Montreal was on Fable and now Fable's in trouble, that's not happening right now. But people are running with the story because of this. The game got closed down. The people that were working on this game have lost their jobs. But the people that are Eidos Montreal helping Playground Games, there's no effect so far, at least that we don't know of or do know of Fable. Right?
Yeah, but think of how ridiculous. What is the safeguard for you paying for 7 years to make a game and then you cancel it? Like, is there some kind of insurance I don't know about? Is there some kind of like pay protection that these companies have, or the write-off? Can they write off 80% or 70% of the money? Like, how does it work that you can actually pay a team of guys for 7 years and then just outright cancel the game completely? How does that work? I gotta start looking up some of this stuff. I don't see how's that even possible? How do you survive as a company that you could pay out 7 years worth of money and then just walk and not get any return at all? Like, that's got to be like the worst investment of all time.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that 7 years, it's almost a decade. You've been working on the game for a decade and you have nothing to show for it. I mean, I would go insane, bro. My brain would explode. How do these companies stay? How do they stay open? How do they stay open?
Real quick, there's another story just to update Oracle cuts up to 30,000 jobs globally, putting enterprise support and roadmaps at risk. So there you go. 30,000. It is 30,000, not 10. 10,000 in the bottom.
10,000 here probably.
Yeah, 30,000 total.
7 years, bro.
Yeah, they've wasted so much money and time with these games. I'm telling you, man, upper management for a lot of these things,
middle management,
horrendous.
Absolutely horrendous.
Upper management's hiring middle management, and middle management's not doing
chasing trends. The golden goose of sucking money from people's pockets for live service games is over, and now they have to eat a dick. Okay, that's what's gonna happen now. Everyone's gonna have to open up their own OnlyFans to stay in business. That's how this is gonna have to work. It's mental, bro. Absolutely mental that you could be working on a game for 7 years and just and they cut it with no problem. It's not even a discussion. The discussion already happened. Like, yeah, we have to cut this game. We don't have enough money to we don't have enough money to finish it. But we can't scrap together whatever we have to actually sell a proper game to recoup any money at all. We just have to kill it. Like, unless you're still in bones. Who gets to recoup? How do they get that money back? And if they don't get that money back, what kind of reserves do you have in the business to piss away that kind of money and still stay open?
They make a lot of money. People don't realize how much money they make.
But this is why I don't feel guilty anymore. This is why I don't feel guilty when these studios they go under, because there is no way you can sustain and make this much money and just close down unless you've got a crap ton of money in reserve.
Well, here's another story about another game that got canceled. The Last of Us Online was canceled 24 hours before public reveal. Okay, the director of canceled Last of Us Online title recently opened up about how it was informed about the cancellation a day before the reveal. For those unaware, the Last of Us Online project, also known as The Factions, was canceled in 2023 as Naughty Dog shifted its focus to single-player titles. Former PlayStation executive thought it was great when he played it, too. Now the director of the canceled has provided some insight of what transpired. So during an interview, he says... first spoke about the boom in the gaming industry during the COVID, noting that the online games experienced a significant boost around 2020, which also Sony, like all others, decided to put a lot of money into online gaming. And this is how The Last of Us Online was able to secure its funding. And it says, stated that the game was doing really, really well internally. That must have been really like sniffing farts. And everyone's like, doing great, guys. There's no problems here. Just keep going, right? With the team developing an almost 80% completion, it was very close to done. However, over the next couple of years, as people started returning to the office, spending online gaming dropped significantly, which led to studios reduce their projects as well. He added, eventually the studio had to make decisions whether or not to go ahead with The Last of Us Online or make the next game of Neil Druckmann was directing, which is the intergalactic one, what he's making, which basically them to pick the game, which was also kind of bread and butter for the studio rather than experimental games that was also working on. So they don't care how long you've worked on a game for. Okay. So here you go. It says The Last of Us Online director described devastating moment of the soul crushing for him as he had spent 7 years working on the title. So there you go. That's the deadline, right? 7 years. And they're willing to pull the plug. That's how long, that's how much money they make. And they're like, yeah, you're fine. 7 years. Just keep going. We'll tell you if you go too long. It's crazy.
It's not sustainable, man. You can't have multiple companies doing this to the people consistently. It's just not going to work out for you. I remain the optimist, and I will say when the corpos go under, the indies plenty of room to grow. We have an entire industry of indie people, talented guys working on games who don't get noticed. The minute these corpo clowns go away, they will be in the spotlight. There's not going to, let's put it this way, there's not going to be any shortage of games. There's going to be shortage of corpos. That's what there's going to be a shortage of, right? We're going to have to do a reset here. That's basically what's going to happen. We're going to have to do a gaming reset.
The problem, though, Krebsy, you're right about canceling because they're not a live service company and they should stick with the single-player game. But this is fundamentally going to affect the single-player game they were working on because now they wasted 7 years on something completely different than they could have been working on the other single-player game that they have. So now they're going to rush that single player game out.
Think how much money you're making if in the middle of you making a game, you realize that the next trend is live service. So you finish releasing the game that you have, you release it, you start working on a live service game for 7 years. At the end of the 7 years, the trend for live service games is now over after you've been involved with it for 7 years. And then before you even release it, they tell you we're canceling the game, we're out of it. The trend's over, we're going to walk from it. Like, and you never got to release the game. That's mental, bro.
Yep. I mean, I've worked on films before.
Completely and totally mental.
I mean, like I said, I've worked on films that never see the light of day. I still get my check. I still get paid.
I get it, man. I get it.
The only one that's eating it is the company itself. They're like, it's not good enough to make it. Or they look at it's too early. It's not good enough market to pop in now. So we're going to keep it on the shelf for a couple of years. Right. I mean, that's the way the business goes.
Yeah, but it's
the same thing. It's $300 million budgets, $50 million budgets.
300 million's out of control.
The only difference is movies don't take 7 years to make.
That's correct.
Unless you're James Cameron.
Right. That's correct.
They take a year and a half or whatever based on, from beginning to end. But the actual crew making the actual video game or actual movie is only there for like 6 months. Then the editor is there for the other, 12 months making the edits and stuff. So
sure.
Going to what we talked about a little bit earlier about the U.S. patent. The U.S. Patent Office revokes Nintendo's controversial Pokemon battling patent in non-fiction or non-final decision. It says, despite concerns about how such patents could be weaponized, the United States PTO approved the 397 patent with the shockingly little pushback, drawing outcry from both players and legal experts. Experts like video game patent lawyer Kurt Sigmund. He said, who would call the patent's approval an embarrassing failure of the U.S. patent system. We talked about this when it happened. We're like, how do you give them the patent?
Yeah, but now it's official. Nintendo doesn't get dick
for right now. They can show proof of something and they can get it back.
They're not going to be able to show proof because the stuff that they have to show proof for, people already had it before them. They're not going to show proof.
He says, before I continue, we should clarify the scope of Nintendo's 397 patent, which also has been a common source of confusion. To be clear, Nintendo did not apply for and does not pose a patent of a general concept of battling summon monsters. Patents are intended to project original, unique inventions that also would be a non-obvious for the associated art. In other words, an invitation isn't patentable, or invention isn't patentable if it's overly broad or similar to existing work. Okay?
Which is everything they're
even
talking
Nintendo's
about.
terrifying legal. What's that?
Which is everything they're talking about.
Yeah,
it's all general stuff.
The 397 patent claims the invention is of unique, hyper-specific system of sub-character battling mechanics, one in which its movable player character can be directed with an input to summon and sub-character to designated location, where it will either enter the battle mode or the enemy character is presented to being automatic movement, okay, during which a player can also perform a second input cause. Okay, so it says, and now just how the claims are summarized, the patent abstract, and they even got more granular, but it's also specific, as those claims are the USPTO examiners are now saying that the patent shouldn't have been granted in the first place.
That's
just
correct.
Weeks after Nintendo was granted the 397 patent, the director, John A. Squares, issued an order of an ex parte re-examination, and the patent, meaning the USPTO examiner, would also be whether or not the patent should have been granted to begin with, which I don't think we talked about this. I don't think it should have been. But so all the money they're throwing at this stuff, after reevaluating Nintendo's claim in comparison, pre-existing patents in video games, examiner decision rejected all 26 of the 397 patent claims, concluding that they bear too many similarities to prior art in the systems. So they can't patent stuff that's already been out there.
Stuff that's already been out there?
Yeah. So, which actually goes back to our first story, talking about where the guy said that Crimson Desert borrowed everything from everybody else. All games borrow from other mechanics.
Well,
Thank God they do.
Yeah, now that Nintendo lost this one, now we have to go back and we have to get the Nemesis system out from EA.
Yeah, well, they still have it for like 50. Well, actually, who knows? If they get bought out by Paramount, maybe they'll open it up.
You need to get rid of that, period. Like, they need to get rid of it,
well,
period.
It's granted for 15 years. The only way it gets rid of it is if it's under new ownership. Does it continue on, or does it break because they're owned by another company now? I don't know. So there you go. So the patent office, that's happening there. What else we got? I talked about this. This is a rumor because of Josh D'Amaro is the new CEO, and he's interested in Fortnite, right? So Disney may be interested in acquiring Epic Games at some point, it's claimed. What do you think about this, Sarge? I mean, Lucas Games, Disney got rid of all all gaming companies. They own 0 studios for gaming companies. And now obviously it's a completely different owner now, a CEO, guy running the business. His name is Josh D'Amaro. Bob Iger's out early. Josh D'Amaro took over. He's pretty much getting rid of all the stuff that Bob Iger was like the Sora AI deal of $1.5 billion they were signed up for. Apparently it was just we're going to give you that. It was like a note.
Good faith.
Yeah, good faith. So they never actually paid the $1.5 billion. So it never went through.
That doesn't make any sense, though. The whole deal had already gone through. How could you say that it didn't pay them?
Well, that it didn't.
Was it a promissory? Was it a promissory note? Maybe it was 1.5 billion over so many years, and they just started to make the initial payments and then said, "Forget this." Like that's a whole story in itself.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, but that's a whole story in and of itself.
Yeah, but we're talking about the Fortnite acquisition. If they buy Epic, do you think? Obviously, Tim Sweeney is the main owner of Epic, right? Tencent owns a little bit of portion of it, I think like 8% or something like that. But Tim Sweeney is the big guy. He has to say, "I'm sorry, this is his baby. This is his Star Wars." You understand what I'm saying? Like this is George Lucas of video games. Tim Sweeney is Epic. George Lucas was Star Wars. You need to sweeten the deal for Tim Sweeney to get him to sell. Do you think Disney down the line gets Tim Sweeney to sell Epic?
I don't know. How old is Tim Sweeney?
I'm not sure. Let me see. I think he's in his 40s. Let's see. Tim Sweeney, age 56. He's 56.
Yeah. It depends on how long he wants to carry this horse for. If they give him the right kind of number, and I'm Tim Sweeney, I'm 56, I probably would walk.
Wait, Tencent owns 40%? Did they buy more recently? I thought they were 8% holders for Epic. They're majority owners? Oh no, they're not majority. 40 to 41. Interesting.
Yeah, I think
know that.
Tim Sweeney still has this hard on for Gabe and this battle he wants to try to win.
For EA? Who
right?
do they own 8%?
If he still wants to fight it out in the gaming sphere, he'll probably stay. He won't sell to Disney. But if he's done fighting Gabe and he's done fighting all the rest of the shit and he gets his payday, he'll probably walk. Because he's not going to be able to take the market away from the other people that he wants to. And if Disney gives him enough money to buy him out, then I would say he would walk.
I guess owns 40% Epic Games stake acquired in 2012. Yeah, so they've owned it for a while, 40% since 2012. I think, well, first of all, I think Disney doesn't really care about Fortnite because I think they want it more for what technology that Epic has, because Epic is actually a big player with the Unreal Engine 5 in movies.
And the volume.
And a bunch of stuff. So I think Disney wants more of it because of that than it is Fortnite's just the extra thing on the back end. Because again, Disney's not in it for video games; they're in it for the money.
I would think they're in it for the volume. Anything they can save money on making Disney movies, right?
Movies in general, yeah, they can, because if they have that, they can control people coming to the studio, renting that space, renting that thing. Because right now, they have the studio, the volume's in. So you rent the studio, but their Epic's making money off of the actual volume and stuff because they own the technology and stuff for the Unreal, what they do.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know Epic's got a huge, and they've invested in the facial recognition software and the character animation stuff. So I would think that is what Disney really wants them for. And obviously Fortnite's a big thing, but how long can Fortnite be around? You know, maybe another 8 years, maybe. You know,
I don't know. I don't think you're getting Fortnite for 8 more years. Something else is going to come along before that happens.
I don't know. So I do think that it happens at some point, because I don't want to say never is never, but I do think Epic will sell. Tim Sweeney will sell.
Like I said, it depends how bad he wants to fight.
Well, it also goes,
fight for.
Well, there's also the thing that Trump wants to get rid of any foreign investors in our soil-based companies. If that happens and Tencent owns 40%. Well, then that's a huge thing as well, right? Because if he gets that going through and all Tencent loses all their value in all these companies in the United States, that could change big time as well.
Well, then the companies have to buy back their stock. That's all.
Sure.
Epic makes plenty of money to buy back their stock. Plenty of money.
Remember, they're actually losing money. He's running out of money. That's why they fired 1,200 people.
Yeah. Well, once again, 0 accountants, tremendous balls. That's how everybody runs these companies. No accountants, all balls. They're doing fantastic. Don't worry.
Yeah, I said that last week, Krebsy. The reason that they're selling or firing people, it's very attractive for people that want to buy, right? You get rid of the fat and you show what they have. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with Epic in the next. I said between 3 years. I think 3 years. I think Epic is sold, which is funny to think about because just a couple years ago, you wouldn't have thought EA was getting bought. You would have never thought Activision got bought. You would never thought these big acquisitions would happen. But now you're like, yeah, I can see it happening. I can see Epic happen. That's right. That's right. I'll turn. He didn't fire them. He released them to work for other companies. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot you.
Yeah.
Run free, my developers. One more story, and then we're gonna go to Q&A, right? And then we'll talk about a little bit about Mario or whatever. Xbox has Game Pass Trident, right? Shows up on only first-party games, sparking question. Now, this is just rumor. It's not official yet. Okay. Whether Microsoft is preparing a major shakeup in the subscription model, right? My question for you, Sarge, is this a new tier? If it is it a good idea if it's just first-party games?
If it is, nobody will want it.
So you don't think it's a good idea then?
I don't think an all Xbox tier Game Pass. No.
Just for the first-party titles?
Everyone, the whole reason for the Game Pass succeeding the way it did originally was because of the cross appeal of all these games, right? If you look at all Xbox first-party titles, sure, there's some that are good there, but how much are you gonna want? How much do you want me to pay for old first-party games that Xbox makes every month? You know what I mean?
You would. What are you putting it at? You know what I mean? Like for instance,
what are you charging me?
Let's say it's $5, right? $5, and it says according to the league, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
You're basically trying to make PlayStation's version of Game Pass.
Well, 15 games if it's $5. But then if you pay $10, you get 240 games. But if you pay $15, you get 400. You know what I mean? It's like
that's my point. Why would you buy this at all?
Why would you get this just for these games? I don't know.
How in love with first party titles are you that you don't own any of them and you're willing to pay X number of dollars per month? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How would that make sense? Like Shaka Khan's gonna do what she's gonna do. You know, we're gonna see how she starts to do the marketing. I'm giving her 6 months. I want to see what she builds. I want to see what the marketing is going to do for Xbox. Because right now, between what makes it even more hilarious is because PlayStation raised the price again. This is like the perfect opportunity for Xbox to win more shares over for people to buy
do
console.
Nothing. Like lower the price.
You could just win, right? But instead, we're living in this ridiculousness that they're gonna piss away another opportunity to get more people to buy their consoles because you're not supposed to buy a console.
They're like, you gonna raise the price? We're gonna raise the price of our gun. You can't beat us in the price. It's like, what are you doing? It's the opposite. It's like getting someone so worked up, like you're all in. You're playing Texas Hold'em. You're talking shit to somebody. He's like, yeah, I'm all in. It's like, yeah, no, calm down. Like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to go up in price. You're supposed to save money.
Yeah, I don't know what this is gonna. I don't care if it is a rumor. It's a silly rumor to begin with.
Well, there's this rumor. There's another rumor.
Here's the new price structure, right?
You
lower Game Pass. Here's how you get more people to pay attention to you again. You go back to lowering Game Pass again. That's how you get people to pay attention to you again because the value's gone. For the middle class, the value's gone. For other people, I understand. Everyone
Asha Sharma comes out and says, "I'm new. I'm kicking the door down, bitches. We're going back down to $20." Right? I don't think it's going to happen. But that right there would show people, oh, shit. More people would move over to Game Pass, I think. Make the problem, sell the solution.
Well, the problem is for everybody right now, man.
Of course.
The problem right now is for everybody. Right?
I mean, they're not.
You can't afford the PC. You can't afford the console. So it's almost like a taunt. Like the video game industry is going, so what are you guys going to do now?
Yeah.
We're going to sit around and jerk off?
Games.
Like, right. Yeah. You're going to sit around and jerk off or you're going to buy our system? Like, that's how I feel like this is the tone is. Like, I don't understand what you guys are doing. I don't think you're going to sell $1,000 console. I don't care what's in it. I don't think you're going to sell $1,000 console. And by the way, the back and forth between what you think it is and what it truly is still humorous to me. because regardless of not if you think it's a console or you think it's a PC, it's the same. The only difference is you don't have Windows or like this other shit.
It's not the
sucking up your memory on your console, right? Your console is just doing the console things as opposed to sucking up all my RAM doing stupid shit.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about Mario. Movie comes out this weekend. We're talking about that a little bit. While we do that, chat, we're gonna put up the banner here. If you guys have a question you guys want to ask, go ahead and put a Q in front of your question, and then we'll mark it, and then we'll get to Q&A. So the next thing I want to talk about, Sarge, is the Mario movie. Right? Super Mario Galaxy is out right now. It came out this evening. It came out early for reviewers and whatnot. The score right now is 42. Where the hell is it? Why does it do that? 42% by the reporters and 90% by the actual viewers that are watching. Okay. Now I'm watching it tomorrow. I'm going to watch it tomorrow, and I'll get back to you next week. If it was good or not. There's two sides of this.
But it's the same trend.
Yeah, well, it is, because if you look at the last Mario movie, it was 59% critics and 95% of fans. Okay. So people are upset. They're like, the lore's not there for Mario or whatever. And I'm like, I think a lot of people are forgetting what Mario is, and Nintendo hasn't. Nintendo has made Mario where it's constantly going for 30, 40 years. Okay. And the point is, our Real Life Fake Wizard had a video the other day talking about Nintendo's done something, and he hates Nintendo. He has problems with Nintendo, right? He doesn't like the business or whatever, but he respects what they've done because
they make the same 6 games over and over again.
He's saying that Mario, like, we have our Mario when we were kids. When we were kids, we had our Mario. And then when the kids in the 90s, they had their Mario. And then the kids in the 2000s had their Mario. Mario has adapted and changed over the years. So we all know what Mario is. He's pretty much stayed the same, but he looks different, right? The change and whatnot. But my son knows who Mario is, and I know who Mario is, and we have that connection 40 years apart, right? And that is something that no other company has done, where they have one character across 4 decades that people still like and still want to go to and play and get the next game that comes out. So this is going to be well received because the majority of the population loves Mario, right? Even us, when we had the shitty Mario movie back when we were kids, okay, with John Leguizamo and stuff like that.
Yeah, but who was the other guy? John Leguizamo. Who was the other guy?
The guy from Roger Rabbit. I forget the guy's name.
Yep. That's how bad it is. You don't even remember his name.
I know he's from Roger Rabbit. I know. I don't know. I forget his name. He's from a bunch of stuff. That
was his 2-picture deal. Mario Brothers and Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
No, Hopkins was the bad guy.
No,
wasn't it?
No,
Anthony Hopkins was.
No.
Who was
the bad guy? Was the guy from Back to the Future? What the hell is his name? The professor. Yeah, Lloyd Bridge. Yes.
The guy who just died recently.
Stop! You're mixing 4 things now. No, stay on target.
You said the principal from Back to the Future. He just died. He just passed.
Not the principal. The fucking the professor. The fucking professor. I can't remember his name.
He was the villain in Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah, he's not the villain. I'm talking about Mario.
Not in Mario.
Bob Hoskins is Mario. Who was the bad guy
in Mario?
Yeah, it was Bowser. But who was the actor?
Some kind of suit dude. I don't remember his name. Another loser I don't know about.
Loser. What are we talking about? Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know who's on third.
Mixing like 3 strings together. The Sting-looking dude.
I'm looking it up. I can't remember all these things.
Well, how do you keep track of the PC player base?
Dennis Hopper. Thank you very much.
The number goes up and down. The number goes up and down.
Sarge says the unknown guy.
Yeah, he's dead.
Dennis Hopper's a good actor.
It took 10 minutes for anyone to put his name, and nobody knows who the fuck he was. Nobody knows.
It's just funny. You're like, it's a fucking suit. It's like, what? No, he's a good actor. I just don't remember his name. Yeah, that was a shitty movie. And then we had the TV show, and we loved Mario back then, but fucking Lou Albano as Mario, right? Right. So people are looking at the yeah, Lou Albano.
And
was Mario
in what show?
The old Mario show?
The old Mario show.
Oh, for God's sake.
I don't even want to know, bro. I don't even want
You
to
didn't
know.
watch it?
Probably not. And if I did, I didn't give a shit. Lou Albano as Mario? For real?
Yeah, Captain Lou Albano.
The heck I know, bro.
Yeah, do the Mario.
Yeah. Give me the year. I'll figure how old I was, and we'll see if I was into chasing tail or not. I'll figure it out.
I don't know if you were chasing tail then.
Do the Mario.
You don't remember that? Here, I'll show you a picture. Yeah, Lou
I know
Albano.
I know all the cereals.
Oh man, fucking. This is
No, I know all the cereals.
Look. Let me. That's funny. Here, yeah, Lou Albano. That's Mario.
Oh,
you don't remember? You don't remember the show?
A little bit.
Do the Mario. It was live Mario and Luigi, and then they cut to the cartoon.
Lou Albano must have owed someone so much money from gambling that he had to do that show. That's the only reason why he had to do that show. Nobody in their right mind would want to be a Mario.
Best Mario was Pedro Pascal. Let's go. Can you imagine Pedro Pascal? He plays Mario and Luigi. Yes, he plays both. Anyway, this movie's made $35 million in the first night.
It's Thursday.
Preview.
It's Thursday.
It's gonna make projected $350 million this weekend. Okay, $350 million this weekend. And do we think it makes more than the last movie, which was I forget how much money it made, 1.4
billion?
Yeah, I think the last one made 1.
Well, if you're doing 300,000 plus or 300 million plus in the first weekend, I think you're going to get it to $1 billion.
The last one made 1.3 billion, 1.36 billion.
It's a kids movie.
I know. So do you think this one beats it or comes a little short of the last one?
I mean, sequels nowadays always make a little bit less. So
this is good.
We'll see. 900 million, maybe close to $1 billion.
I think it makes $1 billion. I think it makes like 1.2. I think it does make less. I'll say 1.2, but it's going to make 1.2 to 1.4, but I don't think it shatters the other one.
The Rock cannot be Mario. Jesus.
Oh. Did you see The Rock in the live action Moana? It looks
why?
So bad. It just looks terrible.
Are they doing inside the volume?
Yeah, of course they are. It looks bad. Have you seen the new Master of the Universe trailer?
There's a new one.
Yeah, the CGI looks terrible. Terrible.
How does it look? How does it look worse than Jurassic Park? How do you look worse than that?
I mean,
I watched the trailer for Supergirl, and I asked myself one question: who's the homeless girl? That's what I kept asking myself over and over again.
In what show? Or
the Supergirl trailer. I kept asking myself over and over again: who's the homeless girl?
Homeless girl,
right? She's homeless. You're fucking Supergirl. You're fucking homeless.
She is like, that movie doesn't seem interesting to me. It doesn't seem interesting to me. It looks like, as people said in my chat during the week, it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy 4.
You're giving him too much credit. You thought that looked like Guardians of the Galaxy 4?
It does. You could. I bet you could intercut Supergirl's trailer with Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
Hey, Draken, no shit, buddy. Okay, they all had one planet. They were all there. No shit.
He is homeless, Sarge. That's what he's saying. Supergirl had her home destroyed, Sarge. That's why
your home's where your heart is, kid. You don't walk around homeless when you got superpowers. You get a fucking job. You can get a job.
She's plantless, not homeless. That's right. She's plantless, not homeless. The Supergirl trailer one shows way too much.
So let me get this straight. I watched that trailer several times, and all I thought to myself was, "This is Supergirl, and she's playing the victim card." The fuck out of here, bro.
She's saving your dog like John
Get
Wick.
the fuck out of here.
She's
I'm
saving your
saving
dog like
my
John Wick.
dog from cancer. You're fucking Supergirl. The fuck are we talking about?
Ron says your home.
You guys can't come up with a fucking script?
Ron says your home is where you pay rent. That is true, Ron. That's where your home is where you pay rent.
She don't pay rent. She can live wherever the fuck she wants. She's fucking Supergirl.
El Dente says she could easily work construction or at a warehouse and make bank doing barely anything.
Yeah, nothing. But in today's world, we have to make her empowered. So obviously,
just like all the homeless people on my street, they all have dogs.
Yeah, right. So in today's world, we have to make sure she feels empowered. So obviously, in today's world, Supergirl would have an OF page.
Yeah,
she wouldn't need a real job. She just have an OF page.
That's true. That's true.
Fucking ridiculous, bro.
All right, chat. We'll keep the banner up a little bit.
How do we end on that? It just angers me, man. How do you fuck up Supergirl?
Well, you fucked up Superman, so you might as well fuck up Supergirl as well. I was angry when I was watching Superman at the end.
By the way, I don't want to throw rocks this early. But if the dog has an illness from Earth, pretty sure he's going to be okay, right? All the super people have healing powers, natural healing powers. I don't understand what the fuck the dog's dying of. Okay? I don't understand what the dog's dying of.
The funny part is the dog is James Gunn's dog. So he literally wrote about.
I don't care.
He wrote his dog into the movies because, like, he was the worst part. He was the worst part of the first
dog.
thing.
All CGI? Is the dog all computer animated? Or is
Altern says dog ate space chocolate. That's what happened.
Right? Is the dog CGI? Is it all computer animated?
100% CGI. Yeah,
100%. Not even a real dog.
Not even a real dog. Yeah, most of the
Fuck that dog. Fuck that dog. You think I'm worried about a fake dog dying?
There might have been close-ups of his real dog.
If it's not a real dog, I don't give a shit if it's dead. Get the fuck out. Get out.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. That's what Sarge thinks.
Get the fuck out of here with your fake ass dog. Fake dog with space cancer and has natural. Get the fuck out of the whole mug. Get the fuck out of here.
All right. Let's go to Q&A. Sorry.
Let's see if we have any DC fans in here. Right? Let's see if we have any DC fans. Ready? What's the little miniature city that's basically the last remnants of Krypton? What's the city called? Who knows it? I'll wait. I know they're all typing.
The first one, Altern says, if you had MetaQuest 3, would you play the Ninja Turtles VR game? I probably would purchase it. Yeah, I probably would purchase it if I had the MetaQuest 3. But since I don't, and the game costs money, it's not a game I would buy to get a MetaQuest 3. Does that make sense? If I had one, I would buy it. But I'm not buying one to play it. What about you, Sarge? Would you play the Turtles VR game if you had a MetaQuest 3?
A Turtles game with VR. I'd probably get nauseous. It'd be a lot of punching. I'd probably be punching the TV or the wall or a wall unit. I would probably be punching something.
Candor Pone says.
I know what you meant. I knew what you meant. I gave you the thumbs up. I knew what you meant.
He said Candor with a K. Next one. Altern says, is right now the perfect time to buy a console, or should I wait for the next price hike to feel like it's worth it?
You should have bought it yesterday.
Yeah,
you should have bought it. Here's your best thing. You should have bought as many as you could yesterday, and then sell them for $50 left today. So sell them for $50 less today.
Right, and you would still make all your money. Yeah. Yeah, I was joking earlier with Altern. I was like, because he's like, would you play the MetaQuest? I was like, no, I'm gonna wait for the next MetaQuest to come out and buy that one for overpriced, right? Because it's like, why do I need these things? I don't need a new PlayStation, especially since the new PlayStation is the old PlayStation that they just hiked up, and the same with the Xbox. Like right now is the worst time to buy. If you were a person that was like, you know what, I'm on a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and I didn't want to pay $400 or $500, but now that it's $800, I'm going for it. It's like, what are we talking about? Like right now is not the time to buy a console. It's the opposite, actually. Like save your money up, do something else with it.
Go to a casino, have some fun. Jeez.
Roll it. 7. Next one. Alexander Smith says, do you foresee the PlayStation price hike increasing the PC player base? And how quickly do you see a mass exodus? Go ahead, Sarge.
You're not going to really notice it because the PC, the sheer number of people who play PC is hundreds of millions. So they might tell you it's like a 2% bump or like a 0.5% bump or something, because you have to remember how many people play consoles. There's only like 250 million people that play console. That's all there is.
Yeah.
That's all there is. So even if you get half of them, 100 million people that start playing PC, you won't even notice it on the graph. It'll look like a little mistake with someone with a tremor. Like you make a little bump, you won't even know it's an actual increase.
I think they'll notice.
They'll say PC game sales are up. That's what they'll tell you.
No, I think they'll notice big time with the first party titles, because a lot of people that are on PlayStation and Xbox, they buy third party games. You're going to see a lot of people move to PC because, again, most people that are looking, they're looking for the best deal. If I'm paying $800 to $900 for a console and it just plays the video games, but if I spend an extra $400 to get $1,100, $1,200 PC, if you take the price it would cost you for online for the 4 or 5 years you're going to have your console, it's the same of buying a PC. So you're paying up front for the PC, or you're paying in the back end for the console over the time frame that you want to play your video games, right? If you're going to invest 5 years into the thing, I would rather pay for it up front. That way you own your games, you're on the actual system, it pays off for you up front than it does in the past. So I think you're going to see a big swing. The first 2 years, no one's going to say anything. Then it's going to be year 3, and there's going to be a stat that shows, and a survey comes out, and you're going to notice, well, no one's buying console games anymore because more people are on PC. And we'll be like, no shit. Because best value for your buck, you're still paying $1,200. Are you going to pay 5 years from now $1,200, or you can pay $1,200 up front and then continue playing, right? That's what's going to happen.
What the fuck is Ratcoin?
It's a roguelike coin pusher. I'll show you after.
I don't want to know. I forget I asked.
How
about this?
This thing? The pusher, the old pusher that we used.
I don't fucking want to know. Don't even about that. It's a video game version of that.
Yeah, it's a roguelike. Yeah, it actually looks pretty interesting with it.
I don't give a shit.
Would it change your mind if it was only $10?
I don't give a shit.
Okay.
The fact that you guys are excited about a coin pusher, I'm
not excited for it. But
yeah, we're done. We're not done talking.
Krebsy says, "Do you believe that NASA is a shell for their former self, and they also outclassed by companies like SpaceX, Rocket Lab? Should they use their government funding on highly regulated stuff like nuclear things?"
NASA is NASA because it's government run. Period. They suck the imagination completely out of the thing, but it's what it is. What has NASA done for the last 25 years? Let me know.
It's like Balatro, but not. Yeah. It's a little bit like that. Yeah, I don't really have an answer for this. This is above my pay grade. I do believe that nuclear is the future for a lot of things. I think space travel needs nuclear.
If a SpaceX rocket lands on the moon, NASA will be dissolved.
I think they should do the funding for nuclear because I think nuclear is the way for powering. Like if you want the Enterprise, not in my lifetime, you got to go with nuclear. You got to go with something.
You need fission or fusion or plasma, one or the other.
Yeah,
you need plasma generation. We haven't got there yet.
Krebsy says, if you went to space for 2 to 3 days, would you shit in a bag or hold it till you get back to Earth?
Well, you don't really have a Golden Corral dinner before you get on a rocket ship, Krebsy.
I mean, so I would probably shit in the airlock, just let it float in there, and then just open that shit up and just let it get sucked out. Is probably what I would do. I wouldn't hold it in. That'd be alive. You ever had those cramps where you're driving home in your car and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Like, just go in the airlock, take a shit, let it just float. It's just gonna float there. It's not gonna smash up against the wall or anything, right? And then you just open up the airlock and you let it go. You're fine. Yeah, good stuff.
The problem with that whole thing is, it sounds. I thought that was are they gonna make a commercial about that? How Microsoft fucked up the computer on the fucking space shuttle, on the rocket.
Yeah, something had a problem. Like right after it took off, they had a problem.
Did a user agreement come up and you have to hit, you had a 19-page user agreement and you had to okay for everything.
Plug it back in.
Yeah, you have to okay everything before you can take a shit in a box.
Please come again. Say again. Next one says, Krebsy, do you think if Crimson Desert had the EA, Ubi, PlayStation, Xbox logo, that a lot more people would be questioning performance? The game-breaking bugs, say map too big, like AC games. The problem with a lot of the bugs and stuff that was at the game, they fixed it so fast. We're not talking months, weeks, and months. We're talking hours and days, right? So when people are comparing it to like all those other things with games that have problems, like Shadows still has problems, right? Like these games had problems months and months afterwards. Are there problems with the PlayStation 5, with whatever that was happening? Yeah, there's still a little bit of problems, but they've, within the first 10 days, they've, did it. I do think people are less critical because it's not EA, like you're saying, or Ubisoft or anybody else that made the game. And it's like a, Pearl Abyss. And they're just happy that there's no microtransactions and it's not an MMO, right? So I do think there is a leeway there. I'll be honest. I said this with Bethesda, right? If Bethesda didn't make Starfield and someone else made Starfield, they'd be like, Starfield's great. But Bethesda made Starfield and they're like, yeah, it's fucking Bethesda, right? We'll see next week, April 7th, Starfield comes out for PlayStation. We'll see if people all of a sudden like it.
I can't wait to hear that. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait. Cannot wait.
I do believe though that
I'm excited about a mid game on a third-party platform. I can't wait. I can't wait.
All right. Krebsy says, would you rather Disney buy Epic or use that money to invest into Marvel Star Wars parks to unshitify them?
I don't want Disney buying anything. I want them to crawl back into their park. I want them to live there now for a while. Let somebody else run the movies. I want there to be a crowdfunding campaign for the citizens of the country to buy, or the citizens of the world rather, to buy back Star Wars from Disney and give it to somebody else. That's what I would approve of.
My birthday's coming up, Sarge. I'm gonna use my wish. I'm gonna use my wish that Elon Musk buys Star Wars.
That would be great.
Yeah, he just buys it out. He's like, you know what? Just give us back.
Disney doesn't need it. Yeah, right. Disney doesn't need it.
Yeah,
right. It's like adopting a kid and then beating him and then not feeding him. That's what Disney did to Star Wars.
I rather Disney not buy Epic. I'll be honest. I don't like more consolidation type of stuff. I would rather them put it into the parks and fix the parks, because I'll be honest, the parks are a little lackluster a person being a annual pass holder. Like they've gone down the shitter, even though it's the biggest moneymaker still for them. They should just still do more stuff with the parks themselves and stop. I don't even care if they update Marvel and Star Wars. They have put plenty of money into those things. They should be printing money with those two brands, but instead they're struggling with Marvels and Star Wars, which is mind-boggling to me that you even say that in the same sentence. You own two of the top 5 best franchises of all time.
One's been around for 40 years and one's been around for 75 years plus. 80 years.
Yeah.
The fuck out of here.
And they can't make money, or they're struggling to make money with these things. Yeah. Let's see. Krebsy says, do you agree with the assessment that Xbox has 75% chance and Nintendo has a 55% chance of increasing console prices this year? I mean, I can't really agree or disagree. I'd be fucking retarded if they raise the price again. If Microsoft raises the price, we said that just earlier in the stream, if they raise the price over PlayStation, they're fucking retarded. Okay? Because right now, doing absolutely nothing, they now are the cheapest console of the two. Doing nothing. Just sitting there. They could come out and go, hey, you know what? We're lowering our price. right? They could because they're not really selling consoles anyway, so it wouldn't hurt them.
We were told not to buy them.
Right.
We were told not to buy them.
Right. Because everything's an Xbox. Right. So it would be super, super idiotic if they did it. Nintendo, on the other hand, they can raise the price for sure. They can raise it up $50, make it 500 without the game. Just right. I can see Nintendo raising price. Xbox though, they're so stupid if they do it. Same shit, different day. Krebsy says, are Bowser and Bowser Jr. too evil? Like Silence of the Lambs evil? He's saying this because did you see the video of Grace Randolph? Grace Randolph is a movie reviewer. She says that Bowser and Bowser Jr. are the embodiment of the manosphere. But she also said that Bowser was her favorite character of the movie. Sarge's like, I'm fucking done. I'm done. Yeah, that's what happens.
You shove that feminist propaganda up your ass.
Next one says favorite Mario character. When I play Mario Kart, my favorite Mario character is Koopa. I just like the Koopa Troopa. But I also always play Luigi because when we were kids, Sarge would play Mario and then I would have to play Luigi. So I was always player 2. I was always player 2.
And what game is this?
Mario.
Like the Mario Brothers game in the sewer.
Just any Mario game, anyone. I was always player 2. I was always.
You were not always player 2, and you know damn well when you got older, I was always Luigi. You got to be Mario. What the fuck are you talking about?
When I was a kid, I was always player 2.
You gotta let some of that shit go, bro. You were not always Luigi. Please.
But anyway, my favorite character is Koopa. Koopa Troopa. What's your favorite character, Sarge?
What, in the entire line?
Yeah,
a lot of characters.
Mario character.
It's a lot of characters, man. I mean, I like Toad.
Okay. Krebsy says Green Mario. Now, my son likes Shy Guy. Kingard says, what would you say to Crimson Desert's criticism that it's Ubisoft, but people like it because it didn't come from Ubisoft? Sort of like what Krebsy asked earlier. I do think it's getting a little leeway because it's not from the same people that keep making open world games type of stuff. But at the same time, it's not an Ubisoft game in any way, shape, or form. Like when you play Ubisoft games, like you go through the world, like you're playing it, right, Kinger? Right? I don't know if you're to continue playing it, but I saw your tweet for 30 hours. You said you're 30 hours still in the first area. I said, should I tell him I'm 100 hours? I'm still in the first area. It is like a Ubisoft game, but it's not an Ubisoft game because there's so much to do. In an Ubisoft game, there's not much to do. It's like you're stabbing the same guy. You go over here, you stab a guy. You go over here, you stab a guy. You fall into a hay bale. You jump off a tower. It's the same shit all over the place. There's so much to do in Crimson Desert. So the criticism, sure, I can see the comparisons, but I don't think it's true because if you're actually playing the game, you'll see that it's not like an Ubisoft game. Krebsy says, can you show the Max First Descended stream chart? Wait, the Max First Descended stream chart. We need Traumatized Mo. Oh, why? Did it go down in more? Do we need the First Descendant? The First Descendant Steam charts? Let me bring it up. I don't know if Mo's here, but if he's watching it after the fact.
What's wrong with First Descendant?
First Descendant, Nexon said it's not sustainable, and it's going down. So
it's looked like this for the last how long?
Over a year. Yeah, it came out a year and a half.
So now it's not sustainable, like right this second.
Yeah,
but
Nexon
the rest
said
of that time was fine.
Nexon said it's not sustainable. Like the company that says it's not sustainable because they don't have enough people paying for microtransactions.
Well, great. It's been this way for a year. You just ran out of money now. What are you trying to tell me? It's been this way for a year.
And last one, Ultron says, did NASA make the moon great again?
No,
SpaceX did.
NASA didn't do shit. SpaceX did.
SpaceX did. Yeah, SpaceX made the moon great again. We're not even landing on the moon. We're just circling the moon. We're not even going to the.
Remember, everything you hear them say, remember this. I understand. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories going out there, but here's how it works. If you keep talking about things that the rocket's going to do around the moon and everyone pretends like this is the first time we're doing it, you know there's a problem.
Right. Well, it's always the first. They got to make it exciting. It's the farthest we've ever gone. Right. It's the first woman in space that far. It's the first black man to circle the moon. Right. Like it's whatever. They'll say something just to give it that little thing. I forgot about the moon until yesterday. Yeah, I didn't even know we had a moon. I totally forgot about the moon.
I wonder when they're on the rocket ship going up, do they hear this noise? Boom. Like the Microsoft error message. Is that what happened on the rocket? Is that what happened? They were just flying. Stage 3 configured. Boom. And the thing comes up.
The only reason there's 4 astronauts is one guy's an actual astronaut. The other 3 are trying to figure out why the Windows is not working. That's it. That's the only reason they're there for. All the flat Earth people must hate the rocket launch on April Fool's Day.
Absolutely. It pisses them off, bro. Pisses them off. It's fake. It's fake. Like now we're launching rockets every week. I want to see what they're going to do. They're going to have a crash out. All the flat Earth people are going to have a crash out. That's for damn sure.
Krebsy says Microsoft Outlook crashed 2 times for them. That's it? Only 2 times? Well, I wonder if their microphone doesn't work.
There was a day one. Update. There was a day 1 patch as soon as they launched. There was day 1. Patch.
No, seriously, I want to know when they do something. All of a sudden, their communications don't work because when I update my stuff, my software gets fucked up in some way, shape, or form. My camera gets fucked up. My audio gets fucked up.
Every time there's an update. Every time there's an update.
Every time there's a fucking update, I got to change something. Does that happen to NASA and SpaceX? They're like, oh, there's a Windows update. Oh, ignition's not working. I don't know. Hold on a second. There it goes. It's working now. Like what happens? Eric Chopper Eric. Sorry, I said it backwards. I was wondering if we could see the ice wall as they went up.
Yeah.
They also had trouble with their $30 million toilet. I'm going to NASA tomorrow. I'm going to take a picture for you of their toilet because they have a section where the toilet is. Everything that's put in space has to be lightweight and whatever. So it's like you look at this and you're like, that's what they're up in? Like, how do they survive? It's absolutely amazing the amount of shit that they go through and the training and the amount of like the fabrics they use and everything because it has to block the sun radiation coming through the thing. Like it's crazy. I'll take some screenshots for you.
He's not going for a job interview, Draken. He's going for a school field trip.
Yeah, I'm going to NASA tomorrow. I'm training to be an astronaut. They called me up. I said, okay, I'll go. Yeah, I'm doing a field trip with my son's school. Oh, you want to hear a fucking stupid story? Are you ready for this? This will be the last thing, and then we're going to go.
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
School field trip. They said we need parents to be chaperones, right? We only can take 12 parents. So it's like a lottery. So everyone puts their name in a hat. They pick your name out of the hat. That's
if you volunteer.
That's correct. If you volunteer, okay. If you volunteer and you become a chaperone, you pay $29. It's like $80 to get in the park, but for the field trip for the school, it's only $29. So it's like half the price. Okay. So I get
but
chosen.
Your name goes into a hat. Yeah, your name goes into a hat.
I got chosen as one of the 12 parents to be a chaperone. Okay. We go tomorrow now. Okay. My son comes home yesterday and tells me that there's 55 parents going. All right. And I went, okay. So there's no bus. We're taking the kids. So you have kids in your car. Like each car from the 12 parents would take about 4 kids each, because that's
why are 55 parents going?
Well, hold on a second. So the 55 parents are going because they're not chaperones. They're extended people. So they want to go. They can go with us, but they have to pay the full price when they go. Okay. So now we have 12 chaperones, but we have 55 parents. So we actually
they didn't want to pay for a bus.
Well, of course, it's a charter school, so they didn't
want to pay for the bus.
But the point is, I only have 2 kids in my car now, my son and one other kid from his class, because there's so many parents going that each parent is just taking their own kid to the to NASA. I went, why am I chaperoning? If every parent is going, why am I chaperoning?
Stay home. Just stay home.
I was like, I don't understand what is happening right now.
Can you call out sick for your chaperone shift?
No, I have to go. It's okay. I want to go to NASA anyway. It makes absolutely no sense, though. So there's actually almost 1-to-1 ratio of parent to kid because there's only 60 kids in this class. Okay. And there's 55 parents going. I'm like, what in the actual hell is happening? It's going to be a slog with all those parents. I don't know if it's going to be a slog. And if it is, I'm just going to hang back. I'm just going to hang back. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It's just funny to me. It's like, yeah, there's a chaperone, and then everyone signs up. You only get 12 people, but 50, 40, 38 other people are coming. It's like, okay, great.
You know what I want to see? I want to see when they stand in line, who stands in line to pay the discount price and who stands in line to pay the full price, and how they decide who that is.
Well, the chaperones, we already got our tickets, so.
Oh, you already got your tickets?
Yeah, we already got the tickets right there. What do you mean my kid can't go to space? Yeah. So last time I was there was a couple of years ago. I think it was 2022. I think it was the last time we went.
I'll tell you why, Dragon. He's not smart enough. Period. Your kid eats glue. He's not going to space. I got news for you.
All right. That is going to do it for us. Episode 483. Is that what we're doing? Yeah, 483. Generous X Gaming is a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. If you guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Because I'm being a chaperone tomorrow, there will be no Crimson Desert stream tomorrow on Friday. I will despise it all day. I'll be like, God damn it, 55 parents here. I could be playing Crimson Desert right now, but no, I'm a chaperone. We'll be back Monday morning for the Daily Grind over on this channel, 30 NSG. We're live Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. Come on by for the morning streams. We just cover news stories, have conversations. It's a good time for 2 hours every single day, Monday through Thursday. If you guys like to help us out here, you can go hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you want to listen to some of the music that we've created, I've written the music. AI has created the music. And together we've made beautiful music together. And it's over on Spotify, iHeart, Pandora, all the things. Go check that out. iTunes. You can listen to it. You can download it. You can buy it. You can also go down to the apparel store and pick up a shirt, a cup, a mug, whatever. I do appreciate you very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you are. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Game on, guys.
Retro meets the now and here. Gaming tales you need to hear. Laugh and shout and sometimes sneer. Memories from all those years. Console wars and secret tips. Tips and tricks from pixel trips. News that pours from gaming sips. Critical minds and candy.